Live, we're live, live, we're live. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Live, we're live, live, we're live. Okay, okay. Rope in, people, rope in, chat. Rope in my chat. Alright, good. Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up everybody upon the live. Know what I mean? Yeah, I see a crazy amount of people that text me on WhatsApp right now. What go on everybody? You don't know Kadu Williams this we here. Yet for another live. Okay, big up yourself Javali. You say audio good? Yeah man. Stay on the live Javali cause I'm gonna play some music right after the intro. The topic. And I wanna make sure that everybody can hear the audio. Nice and you know what I mean? Loud and with a lot of gain and the voice and everything like that. What go on everybody? Oh your Sunday I go on. Oh the Sunday I go on. Me know say I start the live 5 o'clock just because me know say by 5 o'clock on a Sunday most people probably done cook them dinner, you know what I mean? Some curry goat, oxtail, fried chicken, all kind of thing, fried fish, and them I go, you know what I mean, sit down and relax with them family, and at this time, you know what I mean, they might just jump on the live. But we have a really good topic today, people. Really good topic. This one is, I would say, nostalgic in a sense. You know, growing up, there was this era of reggae that I grew up on as a kid, that I saw it from the beginning stages, not completely because I was too young for the, you know, the complete beginning stages, but I saw most of it from where it had its heyday until where it got to, you know, where it got to that point to where it's basically on a decline and basically like almost non-existent at this point. So myself, just from a reporter's perspective, not just being a musician, not just being a producer, artist, or anything like that, composer, or anything like that. You know what I mean? I can give some data, some research, facts, background, or whatever you might want to call it, into this topic, and basically present it to you guys to make an interesting program, but also an enlightening program, you know. I'm sure you guys are going to hear some things that you probably never knew or never remembered that's going to come up in this topic. So, you know, it should be interesting, very interesting. And we're definitely going to have clips at the end. For those who can't catch it live, they can watch the replay, the whole thing, or you can watch the clips on Instagram or maybe YouTube. I'm thinking about releasing clips on YouTube as well. But, you know, we're just starting. We'll think about that, you know, but if you guys can see, had a major upgrade, you know. Now I have different screens. It's looking real nice, you know what I mean? I can do WhatsApp calls. I can do video calls. You know, I could put you on video if you need to. We could talk face to face if you're willing to show your face. That's fine with me, you know, make it interesting. You know, it's a whole lot of things that we have to come, you know. But this is just the start of it. I thought this topic was introduced to me by my brethren Chin. He thought, yo, you know, you need to bring back this topic and, you know, let's hear what people are, you know, wanting to say about it. So, okay, that's fine. I'll bring it back. You know, let's bring it up. Let's bring this topic up. You know, this is a very controversial topic, to say the least. You know what I mean? Very controversial. We're going to have some people call in and talk about it. But in the meantime, in between time, you know what I mean, make we kick it off with some music now. And go on with our vibes, don't it? Alright. Here what now?
Boy, to the amount of fire we are burning, stand build up all night sea. You know, see what go on a be a rain, really wash out. What a good thing with God bless, you know. Because here you go on now, you see the fire burn. A word without words. Fire burn up the wood, your man shirt. Fire burn, and I better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Fire burn, a word without words. Fire Fire burn up the whole your mansion. Fire burn, and the better learn. And everything out there you feel burn.
Hey.
Imagine you're just up in your latest wear. Put on your Versace cause a type and stay weird. You come out to hear a Rasta man say, you feel like you want this.
Pull up. Hold on there. Beanie, big up yourself. This is a bad song. And this song fits the topic so well. You know what I mean? Originally, this song was a diss song to Capleton, is what I understand. But this song fits the topic so well. And we're going to get into it. But here what happened. Beanie Man, come round again. Come down, Beanie Man. Pull up.
To the amount of fire we are burn, stand build up all night sea. In the sea, I go on a beer, rain, you wash out.
Big up everybody on the live. Chatbo.
You see the fire burn, a word without words. Fire burn up the whole your mansion. Fire burn, and better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Fire burn, a word without words. Fire burn up the whole your mansion. Fire burn, and better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Imagine you're just up in your latest wear. Put on your Versace cause a type and stay weird. You come out to hear a Rasta man say, you feel like you want disappear. Imagine big dancer keep down in the scare. Woman in a mosquito and the tallest here. She come out to hear a Rasta man say, she asked herself if she are there. Imagine you walk come from Savla Mark. See a Rasta man tired, you know, so him a walk fast. Half a him a drive on him say,
Call your star, you know, sister Basta man Bonal.
pop. A word without words. Fire burn up the whole of your mansion. Fire burn, and better learn.
And everything out down the burn.
Fire burn, a word without words. Fire burn up the whole of your mansion. Fire burn, and better learn. And everything out down your favor. You won't get a Rasta man vex. In him turban and him rub and him don't got no sense. Him come out in here a ball except. Then you know who ja bless. Well, just see ya that the Rasta crash up on a him. Go to hospital and doctor work on him. Then give him a prescription and them send him cigarette. The pharmacist said, well, just see ya that they are in a Pablo's me. The Rasta them buy down to curtain cloth. Them come out some little youth now take a part. Say, one not tired and no lie. See the fire burn, a word without words. Fire burn up the whole of your mansion. Fire burn, and better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Fire burn, a word without words. Fire burn up the whole of your mansion. Fire burn, and better learn. And everything.
Big up everybody on the live.
Enough of them a burn up, but them soon catch a fire. Enough of bun foreign, them a frequent flyer. Enough of them a fight and a die for your dollar. Enough of them a burn race fire. From your bun the dragon, well, you must go Japan. And if you bun the eagle, well, you go on.
Big up yourself, Javali.
You a do the queen money in your hand. Surely go that Rasta man. I'll be sing fire burn.
A word without words.
Fire burn up
The of your man shirt.
fire burn.
And better learn.
And everything out there you feel burn. Fire burn. A word without words. Fire burn up the whole of your man shirt.
Fire burn.
And better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Hey, imagine you're just up in your latest gear. Put on your Versace cause a tight pants stay weird. You come out to hear a Rasta man say, oh no, you feel like you want disappear. Imagine big dancer keep down at this gear. Woman in a mosquito and
Yeah. That was Beanie Man, people. A song called Fire Burn. So, from my understanding, that song was a diss song to Capleton back in the day, because Capleton and Beanie Man did have some type of feud, or them did at odds musically in a some type of way. As you know it, which we'll get down more to that topic, Capleton was one of the leading man them were burn the fire hot, lava, splash. You know what I mean? Them man they burn everything, and we're gonna get into that still. As me I say, and then you know what I mean, look like the fire catch Beanie Man and burn Beanie Man, and Beanie Man say, yo, hit song pon him. You know what I mean? Two giant them still, Capleton and Beanie Man. Big up two man them, as me I say, straight. So people want to tell me still, does Beanie Man have a point? You know what I mean? Is it that there is too much fire burn and man a burn this, man a burn that, and you burn something where you use in a life which is just a regular thing. So what the sense? It seems kind of contradictory. Say I burn certain thing. Is that the case, or is it the case that Beenie Man is misinterpreting the fire that is being burned, and there is a more deeper meaning to the fire that's being burned by the man them where burn the fire? You know what I mean? We they have to evaluate both sides, to see both sides and see which one of them makes sense, or maybe two of them make sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. But you know what I mean? We just have to evaluate it. You know what I mean? We're gonna have some people calling in to talk about it, and we're gonna have a nice discussion about it. But in the meantime, I cannot play a Beenie Man, right? I just cannot play a Beenie Man tune and don't kick off the live with some conscious fire burning tune that this topic is all about. So come down. Who remember them time here? Listen keenly.
Some food that's still fire. So I'm a bun car and someone attack. Oh, if a bun car and drive car. They don't understand what I mean and overstand. Because I'm a bun car means you must put car in front of humanity. That means you must see your brother and sister before you see car.
Listen people. Hold on. Move up the man them sit. Move up everybody sip on the live. Listen what Capleton is saying. And decipher for yourself after listening that Beenie Man song. Listen what Capleton is saying about the things that Beenie Man basically a lick out upon him say is a counteraction. So hear what Capleton is saying, because maybe there is a deeper meaning to the fire that burn. Me don't know. I'm just the presenter here. People, listen what I go on. Well, the fire is for the purification of the smoke and you fight against fire. When you get in the man, you want to fire down. And even you want some food that's still fire. So I'm a bun car and someone attack. Oh, if a bun car and a drive car. They don't understand what I mean and overstand. Because I'm a bun car means you must put car in front of humanity. That means you must see your brother and sister before you see car. Because people is more valuable than material. But if you're going like you want complicated or being ridiculous with like a mental capacity, you know I'm going to make you know you want to get even with the fire. Well, in the time I go into my car and I drive car, I have to burn it. I remember when the press gas I burn me, I burn gas. You know that. When the press brake I burn me, I burn brake also. When I turn on the ignition, you know much fire that's in the engine. If I need some music and turn on the stereo of fire, give me that, but watch a bigger judgment. If I need some cool air condition, a fire generate that also. So always remember that the fire is the main source of life. Now pass the church and hear them the pan. Keep the fire burning, hear them again. A little more oil in my lamp, keep it burning. Hear them not that, now come back with no water, brimstone and fire. Now the fuck no confused about fire. The fire is for the purification. You don't want to know something, the herb is. But it's still the fire for burn herb, so the herb would have give us the feel. But charging the water clean, but that's still the fire for burn the water. Big up Capleton, King Shango.
DJ Alcazar.
Big up DJ Alcazar.
No more than being a town. Miss a happy got so lucky she got happy out.
We no want no more dead body.
Well, Miss a Joe kill quick. We don't want no more hit.
People like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
No more casket. Well, life we promote, which is right.
Rope in on the live, rope in.
Look and Jaja City, Jaja Town, them want to turn it in a cold white town. Aye, look and know, bloody city, bloody town, or turn it in a rude white town. Aye, look and know, them a tell me how them call. Big 45 we shoot out them brother mole. No fuss at them cold like up at the North Pole. So them shoot down the young, shoot down the horn, shoot down the puss and the dog and the fall. Every weekend them take our next payroll. Out of one pocket them shoot out bill for.
Rope in people, rope in. Yo!
Jaja City, Jaja Town, them have it and it's in a cowboy town. All rounds, no sound from from the suffering. Who collect the pound to keep them bound from the
Sizzla Kalonji.
Hey, hard ground, cold ground from the suffering. Hey, them what we about, so we down yet we still striving again. Hard ground, no sound for the suffering. Who collect the pound to keep
People tell me if you don't miss the fire.
Hey, hard ground, cold ground.
Wanna miss the fire?
Yo, them bounce about, so we down yet we still striving. Hey, can I all get a youth gun for them roam on the street every day and night? Take away trade and as them turn me, I turn on us a trigger happy ever want strive. Now about 3 too late, figure free by chance if I keep all your life before the day put down. No for them gone.
Big up First Millennial Entertainment.
Where are the so-called leaders who pollute and corrupt all the place? Yo, the nowadays bleeders, backdoor dealers who put the youth them to waste. The devil's receivers are always the teachers, step on the things that create. Whoa, strife now, me sister that Babylon a fake. Hard ground, cold ground, for the suffering. Who collect the pound to keep them bound from the uprising? You ain't hard ground, cold ground, for the suffering. Yo, the bounce we about, so we down yet we keep striving up. Yeah, hard ground, cold ground, for the suffering. Who collect the pound to keep them bound from the uprising? Hey, hard ground, cold ground, for the suffering.
Well.
What they do cares not what they say. I know I never stray. I burn them every day. Yeah, what they do cares not what they say. I know I have to pray to meet a brighter day. Yeah. Well, them coulda never break me heart, them coulda never change my thoughts. Them couldn't stop the fire when me burn from start. Coulda never break me heart, them coulda never change my thought. Just blaze up the fire, make them scotch. Yo, brainwash education with them mental shocks. Intellects of society and new diplomats. Well, all them promote is just coke and crack. On an innocent life, the whole of them a try stop. With your nurses and your docs, your soldiers and your cop, your churches and your synagogues, the whole of them a go flop. Them a wait on the body, them fi put in at the box. A wait on the body, them fi put in at the vat. But a Emperor Selassie said the arms out fi stop. Well, life me promote, so get it straight to the top. I hear King Selassie non-stop.
Big up everybody on the line.
Selassie,
Whoa!
what they do, there's not what they say. No, I never stray.
There's no link between the other day. All there is nothing
every day.
I and I say there is one way to go. Yo.
Go, Mr. Fisherman, go.
That is the only hellfire I know.
Oh, remember this?
Go, Mr. Fisherman, go. With all the ammunition where the wicked them and throw Ethiopia.
Go, Mr. Fisherman, go.
The weatherman predicts a storm out the door, but we out here.
Go, Mr. Fisherman, go.
Boy, that I'm making him a me shield and guide, and under his wings I will always abide. Pray for me slip and then pray for me slide, so them can't take away me shame and pride. Let you know their way down with guilt. What? Balance none of them can't tilt. By what's right you want to come and shoot down me fence. Or you want to insult I and our intelligence. And all the borrow them a borrow and a owe. And all the sea them were so bad and them a sow. And all the rivers of flood them have a flow. Ethiopia shall stretch forth her hands, now them a show. So there is one way to go. Go, Mr. Fisherman, go. That is the only hellfire I know. Go, Mr. Fisherman, go. And all the ammunition where them all a throw Ethiopia.
Lampul. Alright people. Big up everybody on the live right now. Hope everybody done got them little thing. Know what I mean? Your little water, your little juice. If you put little rum in there, little, you know what I mean, vodka. If you're drinking cognac or, you know what I mean, whatever it may be, you know what I mean. Tequila, you know, it's a favorite. Yeah. Whatever. If I even beer or wine you drink, champagne, big up on itself. You know what I mean? I almost say it, but I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna try to keep the line clean, the live clean. no curse words in the live. We're trying to keep a clean live. We want everybody to be able to watch it. But that mix was basically a summation of, some of, not all, some of the biggest songs in the fire burning era with, the big name guys, Sizzla and Capleton, and if you listen to the music, them burn the fire hot on certain things, they do burn the fire hot on a lot of things that people disagree with strongly, you know what I mean, and that won't fly certain places, but at the same time, I think some of the things that they burn the fire on, I think everyone can pretty much agree with it, because, these guys are trying to have a certain type of level of, like cultural, to keep certain cultural practices in society, but, society is a thing that changes, and evolve, and what can you do to stop it? I don't know, but these guys are the warriors for it, for what they believe in, and who am I to say what, to stop them from saying what they believe in, Everybody have their own belief. One person's belief is different from my belief, they say 7 brothers, 7 different minds. It is what it is, but at the end of the day, they make really good music, great music, and we have to call a spade a spade. But anyway, let's get into the meat of the matter here, which is the PowerPoint slide, or in this case, I'm using an iMac, so the keynote slide. So as you guys can see, the topic today is the status of fire burn reggae. And this is an analysis of the history and future of an unforgettable era in reggae music. And this is brought to you by Cadu Williams Music Group. People, please do remember that Cadu Williams Music Group is basically a subsidiary of Cadu Williams Conglomerate Entertainment. And here we don't only do music, we produce music, make beats, produce vocals, all that, mix, master, everything. But then we also produce content via entertainment, as well as different areas in entertainment that we plan to venture into. So basically, it's an entertainment company. Cadu Williams Music Group is basically a doing business as name for the bigger company, which holds all the conglomerate. All right, so let's get into it. All right. The history. In the early 90s, reggae music took a turning point from fighting against oppression in a systematic regime of mental slavery. The usual lyrics and themes of reggae songs were preaching love and unity, the legalization of marijuana, relationship love songs, as well as the motivation, motivation to the listeners to fight for their rights. Though there were many other topics, most were centered around these ideas and philosophies. As you guys can see, the cover art here, Peter Tosh, Legalize It, iconic cover art right there. Bob Marley's One Love, Gregory Isaacs, Night Nurse, and Yellow Man, I'm Getting Married. Iconic, classic cover arts right there, classic songs, iconic. And all right, so some of the most notable songs that delineate these messages are Culture, Fight for Your Right, released 1986. As you can see in the middle right there, it's the Fight for Your Rights by Culture, the black cover art. Bob Marley, Could You Be Loved, released in 1980. As you can see, the green and yellow cover art there, with the Bob Marley's face. John Holt, Police in Helicopter, that's a big one, released 1983. It's funny. I've been listening to these songs basically all my life, and I thought even Police in Helicopter was older than 1983. Didn't know that was an 80s song. I thought that was maybe in the 70s or something like that. But you learn something new every day. But iconic song from John Holt, big one. Another one is Yellow Man, I'm Getting Married, released 1982. That you remember Yellow Man? I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, you hear the church bell ring. She have me yellow baby, and I'm gonna my knee. So take me to the church and hear me, man. You know, for the young bud no stamina. Yeah, you have to be a reggae enthusiast, or you have to be somebody who old enough to know them song they still, or you grew up on it. And another one is Gregory Isaac, Night Nurse, released 1980. Who knows that song was released in 1980? Gregory Isaac. Night Nurse, only you alone can quench the thirst. I remember them song, that classic, man. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to Gregory Isaac, man. Classic song. Another one is Barington Levy, Under Me Sensi. Remember Barington Levy? Under me Sensi, me under me Sensi. Under me Sensi, me under me. Hey. So people, these are all songs from the 80s. This is literally a decade before the Fireburn era. A decade. And this is how the music sounded. So coming into the 90s, it sounded different. We'll get into that part. Because so now we're getting into the beginning of the Fireburn era. In the early 90s, the general message of reggae music changed into a more militant and enforcing tone with the likes of superstar reggae artists, namely Sizzla Kalonji, Capleton, Buju Banton, and Shabba Ranks. And for all who does not, anyone on the live, that's not familiar with these artists, Buju Banton is the one on the left. Is the bald guy in the pretty shirt will look like Michelangelo upon it, right? Shabba Ranks is the guy with the Chrysler Building haircut in the white. Sizzla is the guy in the jeans jacket that's holding his hand like this. And then Capleton is right below Sizzla with a mic in his hand doing a performance looking like he's enjoying it. This era of reggae music was coined as the Fireburn time. If anybody remember that term, Fireburn is basically the era where there was a lot of songs burned in the fire, right? The continuation. It is this decade when many reggae lyrics were reinforcing the condemnation of taboo sexual acts and homosexuality. The general rationale was to maintain cultural and religious beliefs, as well as the strong urge to avoid experimental sexual fetishes made popular in Western media. So, for anybody that's old enough and familiar with this, when you're in a party and you hear a man say, "From put your hand in the ear. From put your hand in the ear." Sound familiar for all the people that don't come from Jamaica? Basically, that's what they're saying. If you don't taboo, put your hand in the ear. If you're a taboo, keep your hand on your side. So that's how they use it. Selectors, they use it to get forward or to get basically praises or recognition in parties. Sometimes I think it's kind of weak that they have to resort to that, but whatever. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be able to play without having to say that in order to rile up a crowd and get the crowd going. You're a master of ceremony, you're a selector, you need to do better instead of just relying on that. But even the DJs or the singers and the people that are performing, they have a way of saying, from you don't do that, put your hands in the air. From if you do that, then put your hand at the side. They love to force people into basically giving them forward, as we would say, or giving them cheers by forcing them to say basically to claim their sexuality or to claim certain things that they agree with or disagree with, basically. All right, continuation. These songs were massive hits among the Caribbean audience, as well as many European and Western countries, due to the support of people with conservative beliefs that want to maintain the status quo. Iconic picture of Capleton right there, Rain of Fire. I believe that was an album for Capleton. The continuation. However, many of the foreign audience did not have a clue of what the lyrics or messages of the songs were. They just loved the music. Look at that, eh? So there's all these people that agree with a certain lifestyle, you know what I mean? And I'm not just referring to like homosexuality as alone, just like certain alternative lifestyle that people are okay with. They're the same ones in the same parties overseas that's listening to these songs, and they're vibing to it. They love the songs. You know, the vibration is getting into their soul and their spirit and their dance, and it's the greatest thing in the world. But because of the language barrier, they do not know that a lot of the things that are being said in some of these songs, not all of these songs, some of these songs are basically condemning their lifestyle. So they don't know. Some of them know, but you know, music is music. You like it same way, you know, because I can tell you something about music. With music, you would like you might like a certain type of music that you would never agree with the words of it, but you like the music maybe because of the beat, the sound of it, or with the way they say things, or maybe the imagery behind it, or something like that. You know, case in point, gangster songs. You know what I mean? 50 Cent is one of the biggest artists in the world, or there ever was. You know, I remember when 50 Cent came out, 50 Cent had everyone buying the fake chains with the spinning rims, basically buying Reebok shoes, which rebranded or sub-branded themselves with G Unit, and wearing wife beaters with the thick what do you call it, sleeves, the thick sleeve wife beaters. 50 Cent basically had everybody doing that. Now, majority of 50 Cent's lyrics were lyrics talking about crimes, you know what I mean, committing crimes, murder, just straight I would say basically all things that are supposedly wrong in the eyes of the law, right? And there's most of the people listening this music are law-abiding citizens that would never do such things, would never condone such things, but they look at this music as just something it's music, it's not real, and it's just art. So I think a lot of I come to rope it back around to the point that I was trying to make. A lot of those people that live a certain lifestyle that knows what the music is saying and listen it, I think they probably look at it that way. I don't know for sure. Maybe one of them could call in and say something, but they look at it as basically art, you know what I mean? And let's be real here. A lot of those artists, I'm not calling anybody's name specifically, they sing certain things and they burn certain things, but at the same time, when they're presented money to perform or to do a service or whatever with their talent, they don't care what the person that's paying them, what their lifestyle is. They don't, they don't care. They're just trying to get their show and make money. So that's something to think about. The inspiration of newcomers. This fire burn music went on to influence other popular acts in the early 2000s, such as Wayne, Octane, Teflon, Luton Fyah, Chuck Fenda, and T.O.K. Teflon is the guy with the purple locks to the left. I'm sure a lot of people that are avid reggae listeners remember Teflon. He was a pretty big thing back in the day. You know what I mean? He had a couple songs that a lot of people knew. Big up yourself, Chin. I'm calling in a sec. Octane, a lot of people know Octane now. When Octane do more secular songs now, but when he just came out, it was more fire burning type of songs and conscious songs. I believe Octane first song that bust him was something about stop sell out the ghetto youth bread. So when me do stop vampire with a peg, that type of thing. And then obviously everybody knows Wayne, that's holding the mic to the right corner right there. Wayne burned the fire hot. One of the newcomers that's in the 2000 era that burned the fire hot. Chuck Fenda as well, that you can see doing this. Chuck Fenda burned a lot of fire too. As well as T.O.K. with the big song Chichi Man that burned a hot piece of fire that they have currently I guess you would say they condemned that song now, and they no longer will perform that song. So they're willing to step away from that song. Also, I think I never brought it up, but Buju Banton also condemns Boom Bye Bye apparently, and is willing to step away from it as well, from what I've been seeing in the media. Now, let's wrap it up. The decline. In 2004, many reggae acts came under heavy pressure from alternate lifestyle protesting organizations that caused many artists to lose their travel permits and visas for expressed reasons of producing hate music. Since then, there has been a significant reduction in fireburn reggae music. So basically everybody started to lose their visas, basically. Even guys that don't really burn the fire that hot, just regular guys that DJ. They started to lose their permits and stuff like that because the music got labeled as hate music, and it was affecting not only just the guys that sing those songs, but basically the whole genre and as a whole. It was it's an outright attack on the genre. By these communities, and they didn't care whether you sing certain things or not. It's just like they're like what's that term go again? I don't remember that term, but basically the good suffer for the bad. So basically the good were suffering for the bad in that term. Not to say anybody was good or bad, but that's basically the explanation right there. So that was the decline of the music. So this live seeks to evaluate the current state of fireburn music and the possibility of making a comeback on the media airwaves. Lately, there's been some artists popping up. I think that a guy named T-Jan. Yeah, T-Jan is a very talented, I think he produces beats, but he's also an artist, something of the sort. But he made a comeback with a song with Sizzla and Chronicler, and it got a lot of play. It's still getting a lot of play to this day, and he's on the come up. I think he's kind of in that fireburn type of music type of wave. That's what I kind of get from it, because if I burn the fire without partial, and I think there's some other artists coming up with it, So, all right, we're gonna move on to the phone calls. First caller we're gonna bring in is my brethren Chin, aka China. So let me pull him up right here. China, hold tight, my G. Yo. Wagwan.
Bless up, man. Good for you, dip on the live and listen to Wagwan,
Right. Nah, for sure, bro, for sure. Or you find the live so far?
It's interesting, as you play back some of them songs and things, it really take you back to what dancehall and reggae music was all about.
Definitely. Hold on, before we go any further, I just want to make sure that the live can hear your audio. So I'm gonna text some people that are listening right now and ask them, are you okay? So I hear that it's echoing. Hold on, Chin, let's fix that before we go any further, right? Hold on. Input, audio input. All right, let's mute this one and let go this one. Chin, say something.
Yeah. I'm not hearing.
Can you hear me? Chin? Yo. Uh-oh. Hold tight, people. Hold tight. It says you sound bouncy. Oh, gosh, hold on. Hold tight, people. We're having some audio issues. Hold tight. Can you hear me? Okay, Maria says she can hear me, but I'm not hearing Chin. I wonder what's going on. Chin, can you hear me? All right, let me hang up and call again. Hold tight, peeps. Hold tight, peeps. Hold tight, peeps. Chin.
Yeah, man.
All right, I'm just trying to see live. Can you hear Chin? Say something, Chin.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bless up, man. As me did I say, you know, some of the things that you run through, you know, really take you back to what dancehall and reggae music was all about in my early days, you know, me's an 80s baby, so I can only make reference to from then until now for the most part. You know what I mean?
Wait.
But yeah, we're about the fire burning. is a is a scorching topic, you know.
Yeah. Hold on. Mic check.
Well, most people try to avoid the hot topic then, but you know we go against the grain and we go right into the flame and the heat of the kitchen as them will make reference to it.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
I mean, I hear you still.
You hear me now? Can you hear me? Hold on, peace. We're trying to get it right. Hello? Oh, snap. Hold on. Let's try it again. Hold tight, peeps. Hold tight. We're going to get it right. Okay, so you sound fine. Chin low. Okay. Thank you, chat. Thank you. That's what I needed. I need help by the chat from the chat. Chin.
Yeah.
Them say you sound low, so here's what I'm gonna turn it up.
Hold on, let me. On this.
No, you sound good to me from my side, but I just want to make sure. Let me text the chat. How does the caller sound? Let's just go on top, man. We just want to make sure you say you sound good.
Yeah, so you know, just to make reference to some of the things them that you've been a run through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you go. Sometimes you go quiet. You know.
You hear me now, though? Oh, I know what happened.
Yeah, so that again. So you know,
I think I know what happened. Cause
I can't hear you.
no, I know what happened. Hold on. Chin? Hello?
Oh yeah, may I hear you now?
Yeah, no, I think my phone was connecting to the WhatsApp at the same time. Can you hear me?
Yeah, may I hear you now?
Okay, Maria, say you sound better. How does both of us sound? I think because my WhatsApp was open, that's why. Chin sound better. Chin talk.
Yeah. Well, bless up, man. Every now and again, let me can see your mouth a move, but nothing come out.
But you can't hear me though.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Alright, yo, we're connected. Yo, bless up the live, bless up. Maria Smith, big up yourself. Javali Grant, big up yourself. Andy Smith, big up yourself. Katrina Correa, big up yourself. Alright, we live. Yo. We bring back some vibe in the live. Alright, Chin. What go on, my G? You up?
Yeah, man, me up, man. No, up for long, but me up, you know. Me up early this morning.
So I go on. That's how you go still, you know. Apartheid still.
Yeah, me just say, you know, me tune in for the first time today, so, you know, give thanks.
Yeah.
Me listen to the fire where they blaze, you know, and everybody like the fire, because...
I blaze the fire. I know me I blaze the fire.
So that Capleton and Beanie Man and Sizzla The regular man them with the torch.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't be alone. I blaze the fire, man. And
Mm.
and them I blaze the
But
fire.
is a me particularly, me think is a interesting topic because I think before we even start to articulate the thoughts and the opinions, I think important we understand what the hell is this fire,
Okay, let's get into it.
you know?
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So I think we have to make reference to the type of message that reggae perpetuate, and it was all about a certain lifestyle. So when you talk about reggae, you have to consider the culture of Rastas. You know what I mean? Because the genre were heavily influenced by Rastafarianism. And it was all about a certain type of living, whether that be if a physical influence,
Yeah.
how you treat your body, things where you consume, how you live your life, and the morality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this fire, they make reference because fire is one of them things where that um it, it, it it symbolizes purification because you can never pollute fire and fire always blaze upward,
Right.
you know. So you can't change that no matter how you try, and um is one of them things where them use as a term of reference or symbolism to
Right.
purity. So in from my understanding, that was the original message or the core of where reggae music birthed from.
Right.
The the purification and the will speak out against anything where immoral.
Right.
Right. So still in my belief that um people abuse the term, you know, and them take it them use the term to be literal sometimes, you know, and the fire was never meant to attack anybody, whether them be lesbian or gay um or them live any other form of lifestyle when according to certain beliefs no align.
Right.
You understand? Yeah, if you're against something, it don't mean you attack it. Yeah, that was from my understanding, that was never the message in reggae as its foundation.
So are you all right? So that are you saying that these guys aren't saying that they're basically just saying don't don't do that, we don't condone it, like that's not the way of life that we choose to, or is it more like okay those people must die? Is it are you trying to say that they're not saying that these people must die, but they're more so saying that this is no not the lifestyle we want, this is how we want to live, blah blah blah?
So what may I say is when you make reference to the Rasta and the Rasta way of living, you'd never find a Rasta or condemn anybody to death. Right? But you will find that them speak out against certain things what them will go against them belief.
Right.
Right? And
Right.
that was
Right.
them way of burning a fire.
Right.
You know. So remember, the fire is the vice against immorality. It's not a weapon if you use to chastise people because, as the Bible say, we all sin and we all fall short in the eyes of God.
Can I
Right?
can I
So
can I play devil's advocate though a bit? And I don't want to break a chain of thought, but is it?
mm,
Don't you think there's some artists that just straight up say yo, no sugarcoating, say yo, you know what I mean? This fire, you know what I mean? This fire is more than just that morality, but you know what I mean? Those people must be this or those people must be that, or is that, or do you think that maybe that's a bit exaggerated to say that?
no, but that may I build up to because
Okay.
what may I get to is that a lot of people weaponize um this figurative fire,
Okay.
right? And that was never what this fire was. The fire was only a voice. It was never a weapon to attack any group of people or anybody in particular. It was just the way how we voice our opinion about certain form of immorality.
Right.
See? So now when we come into this new era from the 90s or even the 80s, coming into the 90s, but from my own observation, because me's a 80s baby, from my observation, it get really popular in the 90s, with the emergence of people like Shabba Ranks and them kind of man there, So from them time, they from them touch on the homosexuality and them start to speak out against that. Because one thing people feel remember to, Jamaica is primarily a Christian country. And when you talk about a Christian country, you have to still make reference to the Christian beliefs. And it written in the Bible that mention in the Bible in a certain places where it speak out against homosexuality and cross dressing and them kind of thing there.
Hold on.
You know what I mean?
Stick
So,
a pin right there. Hold that thought, Chin. But I just want the live to know, or the audience to know. People may not know this, but Jamaica has the most churches per square mile than anywhere else in the world. Go check it. Go check. Look it up. Google it if you don't believe me. All right, carry on, Chin.
But if you also remember too, there's a bar beside every church. So,
Facts.
yeah. So yeah, so it's more like an education piece, like where this thing originate from and how it reached the way it reached. And for a long time, in our teenage years I grew up, there was this heavy mention of homosexuality and certain form of sexual activity. I mentioned today the oral sex, and even if anybody participates in that, them never dare come and mention that them participate in these things. That was
No,
heavily
that's
frowned
true.
upon.
Yeah.
So yeah, nowadays growing up, the music really start to speak out against these things, and as
Right.
them then them start apply this fire, right?
So hold on. Stick a pin. Hold your thought. I'm just,
Mm.
I'm just kind of navigating the show here for all those who are maybe not Jamaican, so they probably don't understand the culture. Now, the people that are LGBT didn't get more fire than the people that involve in oral sex. They got the same amount of fire as straight
Yeah, man.
people that want to be involved in oral sex. But continue.
Yeah, I think it's a good point to make reference. There was never no partiality from, and obviously everything we mention is from my own observation. So sometimes people have a different perspective, which you can't argue with that if that's their perspective. But from
Right.
where I stood, and you observe the transformation of the music, that's my observation, and it was an impartial fire, you know, towards certain type of sexual activity, and even like anal sex with women that was heavily frowned upon too, and you would still in some ways you still consider it to be heterosexual, you know what I mean? But
Right. Right.
those things heavily frowned upon in the Jamaican context. So I think one one of the things what we spoke about was the absence of this fire in today's music, you know. So we really questioning what happened, and
Where is the
I
fire?
think yeah, the fire no blaze no more. It's more like a radiator will just emit a low level heat, you know. So, but yeah, so And I think one of the things that may influence that is the power of the LGBTQ community,
That's a
and
fact.
you know
That's a
certain
fact.
people who speak out against them either them career get immensely impacted or them permanently cancelled. So there's a fear, if make mention to certain topics. Like
Yeah.
even we there so I talk about it, there's a lot of people will refrain from giving them true unfiltered opinion on the topic just out of fear of being offensive
Right. Right. Right.
or or certain consequences we might go to it.
Right.
But I think it's important to, to make people understand that while they can be against certain form of living, you know, there's a lot of people who engage in a certain activities but we not agree with, but you still show everybody love and respect. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, just think people should always remember that there is, and my biggest problem with the community is you almost don't have a choice in terms of if you agree with them lifestyle or not.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
a forced acceptance, and I don't feel like that right, because there will be at some point people in that same community when you agree with certain lifestyle or others,
Hmm.
but them still have the choice, and nobody no chastise them if them disagree with other people's lifestyle. You know what I mean? And there is no consequence to it. For them disagreeing with other people, lifestyle, it no heavily consequence or even consequence at all. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But yeah, there's a big change in the context of music.
Right. Right. Right.
Because I think that real people say it start with Vibes Cartel. I think it popularized by Cartel, but it never started with him.
Who you would say it start with?
But them Shabba, maybe. Yeah, man.
How elaborate on that?
Well, dancehall music was always very, very sexual, Yeah, man, very sexual. Um, but yeah, Cartel introduced certain things in the music where maybe never really did it before or was never a popular thing, and that is the oral sex.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
But
and specifically
Baby Sham,
women up. Hmm?
Baby Sham did sing a song about that before. Wish remember a wish killer say she now right you know what that run the cut. Remember that was a big hit song,
Yeah, yeah. But what was not in a same genre to in a same era
The
when
90s, the fire burn era.
90s. Yeah, yeah.
It
But
was, yeah.
but yeah, while I think that is a good point to, because I think it helped my point where it was never started by Vibes Cartel, but it was popularized by him
Right,
because
right.
him sustained this type of a message, you know, and him have more of those things in his music than Baby Sham or any other artist was before him.
Right, right, right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's where it started to change to leaving Alkaline try one thing one time and he never do it back, but them kind of washing where
Yo, you know what? I was surprised that Alkaline career made it this far after that line because it as controversial as it was, which controversy sells. I thought that
mm,
that would have been his Lexus moment. Remember when Lexus was hot, I run the place. You know what I mean?
mm,
And then Bounty Killer. Bounty Killer starts the Lexus do this in a car with woman, and then the streets of Jamaica, it just like done with Lexus almost. And just all of the steam them have gone. Same thing with Mr. Vegas. Mr. Vegas was on a rise. And Bounty Killer said,
Yeah.
spread a rumor, said Mr. Vegas is a you know what. And Mr. Vegas, even though he come back and had hit songs and stuff, but him did definitely get a slowdown. So, but this, I mean, I guess it's a different time because back in those days, your career could really slow down after, losing a clash or having somebody spread a rumor or say something about you. But continue, carry on.
Yeah, it's definitely good references, and I think it speaks volume to where the Jamaica as a society was at the time Alkaline, introduced certain message or content in our music,
Right.
that he was frowned upon, and I think he will still be frowned upon today because nobody has sustained that sort of message, and because repetition is another thing too. The more you hear a certain thing, the more it become normal, and
Right.
that
Right.
was never repeated.
Right.
That them kind of sexual activities. So, but yeah, it did. I at the time, think that was a bad move in a Jamaican context. But yeah, definitely one of those a surprise. It no make mention even today, you know. But yeah, um, yeah, but with introduction of cartel and that sort of message start to grow in the music.
Right.
And it's important that we put this out. Those who not Jamaican or familiar with Jamaican culture is more accepted, women performing oral activities to men than it is for men returning the favor.
Right.
And even though is not as widely accepted for men performing as it is for women performing. Even some of them that claim that them burn this fire against men and them oral performance, still doing it.
Hold on, you say it like
You
is
know,
a you say it like is a like a sport or something, Virgin, like chin.
no, 'cause, we have to respect the platform and try to keep it clean.
Oh, hold on.
You know,
Oh,
but
you know that for a fact though, because you said some of them you say it as if like you hear something or something. I don't know. I ask you still.
everybody know this one. You did have him up on your slides. I Octane, and I Octane. Wait, I Octane receive an
I do
email.
not come from me. I never me say it, but carry on.
Well, I Octane himself put out a video, yeah, that somebody sent him an email and say, oh, they want $3 million or $4 million to release a tape where him and one girl perform, you know, oral sex to each other.
Hold on.
And
Katrina said, or even when women are on other women, it's more accepted.
yeah,
Wow.
and there is a hypocrisy among us, Um, while we claim to burn this fire against homosexuality, we're more willing to accept women and women than it is men and men. And in we even put my hand up and say, me might even guilty of that to myself, even though you whether or not you accept it, you listen and you rather say two women than you say two men. And I think you have to come down to where the men them engage in terms of the body location where them engage is not a nice smell when they're done. But yeah, I Octane.
Yo, we can't have that chin.
Yeah, I Octane get caught. Octane could hide. So it's either he pay $3 million or he might keep he might have to keep paying $3 million every time this so-called blackmailer get hungry or broke, you know. I Octane decide to tell the people himself. So and
But
he couldn't even bring himself to say it. You know, him say and I quote I Octane said there's a video coming out showing him a do the thing, you know.
uh,
And yeah, yeah, him couldn't even say it because him embarrassed. Yeah, man.
so this is
But
a real thing then. This is not just a
no man,
rumor.
hundred
This is
percent.
a real thing. I didn't know about this.
A true thing, man. I can't make this up if I tried. Him him record himself doing it and him explain that him and this catty, you know, link up and him never know that the girl recorded because you know them things liable to happen when you're a celebrity, you know, and the girl do the thing and him do the thing and you know it look like him do it good and show off publicize it. So that's so you'll never hear another fire from Ioctane when it come from so team fire get out extinguish straight up.
I
But
Octane, big up yourself. I never me say it. You know what I mean? I can't tell the
yeah,
people if I say I Octane. Sorry. Carry on.
Ioctane say it himself. Ioctane can't say nothing.
Alright, then if him accept it then and you know what I mean, he probably not have a problem with it still. You know, it probably not trigger him or anything like that still. So him probably good, you know what I mean?
A good DJ man, but you know there's one less bit of lyrics, you know, removed from him vocabulary or him songbook. Yeah. One less topic if I go sing about. So you might hear a whole lot more bad mind tune and money tune and come from Octane, but you'll never hear another fire blaze from him. Because he might go burn up himself. Yeah.
So, alright. Do you think that the general reggae audience is missing the fire? What are your thoughts on that?
100% man. 100%. Because um what Jamaican society stood for in that particular era, 90s to the early 90s, you know, like certain things that are happening now would have never been accepted in that era, you know. So yes, so there's a lot more things accepted, even but I still want to make mention it's not just a sexuality thing, you know. It is there's a hypocrisy too because there's a whole heap of um, voices that speak out against certain things in our music and that is around the violence and the you know the crime and them thing there and the use of drugs and them thing. And you don't have the opposition to that kind of lyrical content as there is to sexual content. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if in my opinion, if we if there was that stronger opposition against content where glorify you know gun material and or crime, you know, and whether that be violence towards another person or the scamming, because that is another thing to say emerge recently.
Right.
Everybody want to be what them call it a chopper
Chopper.
and
Chopper.
chop the line. Yeah,
Choppy line.
yeah. So if anybody who wouldn't know what a chopper is basically a scammer, and you find that there's a glorification for the scammer.
Right, right.
Um, yeah, and those things should get a fire, you know, as we as a Christian um background or Jamaicans with a Christian background, we could never endorse them kind of things. You know what I mean? So That's what I mean, that there is a hypocrisy with this. You know,
Wow.
where is the flame for that? You know what I mean?
Right.
But
No. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Let me let you finish.
yeah, continue, man. Me have all it to say.
So, so you think that the reason why do you think that Jamaican people in general are, well, most people not burn out scamming, more them are glorified and them not burn out scamming, because me see like people with burnout killing, you know what I mean? Say murder, you know, we
Mm.
condemn murder. Why do you think that a lot of people aren't condemning scamming?
Well, this is my opinion, and I'm gonna share it in a 2 points. I think there is a point where the the words of the music or the lyrical content of the music is irrelevant, and people just vibe to the sound, you know, and what everything happening around that particular song, you know. So you're not judging it for the message, you're judging it for the sound and everything else, you know, whatever come with it, whether it was just a vibe in the dance hall or just a particular way the song sound, where it sound good and everybody can relate to a good sound.
Right.
And the other point is you have people who benefit from it, you know, whether them benefit directly or indirectly.
Right.
There's a lot of people who benefit from it, so they are for it rather than against it, you
Right.
know. And you only need a few people to accept it. Even people close to me, you know, try to, well, what would I say now? You know, have a acceptance for it. I mean, like, how can you accept that? How can you accept somebody work them entire life only for somebody, you know, rob them of them entire life savings? How that acceptable?
Right.
So yeah, but and even one of my things was, you would, even though this would have never make it acceptable, you have some of them man they will scam people, and you know, if them did take it and do something good in a them community, you might not feel as aggravated as you would.
Right. Right.
Not that it would excuse it, you know. That's never an excuse. But it would make you feel a lot less hateful towards them.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Continue.
But them a take it and a buy gun and put in the communities. Them a take it and a go floss and a buy the most liquor, and these places, as you often see them on social media and thing. So not only that, them a rob people, them a take it and them heavily influence crime in and around where them come from. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, but
In
there's a big hypocrisy towards the content of the music, man.
right. So, question: um, Can do you think we can see a comeback of the fire burning messages in reggae music? Do you think that there'll be a comeback?
No,
Hmm.
no,
Elaborate.
because it need culture influence message, you know. And as we can see, there is a shift in the culture, not just in Jamaica but the world, of what is morally accepted and even factually accepted, because we can't even agree today what is a woman. You know what I mean? And the fact that we even question these things is like the world gone mad. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So for me, unless the culture and the world change its position and what is morally acceptable. You know,
But
you have a grown ass man, me say the other day,
hold
say him
on,
identify as a little girl.
hold on
You
for a
know?
sec. Hold on for a sec. Don't you
Mm.
think that this new wave in society that you refer to, right? Don't you think that this is what may bring back the fire burning era?
Well, at time will only tell, you know, um, if that will be possible. But from from my existence to now, in terms of what has been morally acceptable, has continuously declined. You know, there's a continuous rot in what we accept to be right or wrong.
So the morals have
You know what I
changed.
mean?
Society, the morals have changed in society.
Not change, it decline.
Mm.
It decline because there's a lot we never accept then, um, that we accept to be okay, or we turn a blind eye. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's a lot of things that happen in a domestic household now,
Right, right.
where people either cover up, or, and not to say people never do it then, but from my own observation, um, you know, and social media and them things help to put things out there a lot quicker than we ever used to see it. So maybe there was a case that it was happening as frequently back then as it is now. But you know, with the platform of the internet and social media, you're seeing it a lot quicker and a lot more frequently. So maybe that is the case.
Mm.
But without actually knowing that, from what we can say is that, you know, the what we accept to be right or wrong, or even true or factual, there's been a decline.
Right.
You know, we accept a lot more things to be okay, you know, and for instance, there was this personnel on the BBC, I will decline to call him name, and he was accused of having a relationship with a minor, right? And the the messages towards him was that of a comforting message, you know, asking him if him okay, you know, how him dealing with this and that sort of thing.
Who,
Where
yeah, what, who was that?
um Schofield, yeah, I'll
Yeah,
only make reference to him
yeah,
surname.
yeah. I don't know of him.
Schofield
But
is,
continue. Go ahead.
yeah, and in my opinion, somebody accuse a pedophilia, that's never the way how somebody approach that kind of accusation with a comforting message, whether you're wrong to persecute them or not. But me just a highlight how, you know,
Was he
society receives certain.
was he
Him
convicted?
confess,
He
him confess
confessed.
to it. Yeah,
I have to look this up because I didn't know about this. Keep going. Keep going.
yeah, and me only use that as a to make reference, um to how society accepts certain things now, or how them manipulate, you know, how them views on certain things, if it is a certain person, or a certain person a certain position, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, to answer your question again, I would love for society or the world in general to, you know, take a step back, and we protect the children them, you know, and we protect the vulnerable.
No,
But I can't see that happening.
that's a fact. I mean, we can't have these children out here being vulnerable to the creepers and all that. We have to protect the children no matter what. And I
Yeah,
mean, I'm gonna look into that story that you referred to a while ago. But basically, from my end, you're saying to me that there's a guy that admitted to, you know what I mean, for lack of a better word, pedophilia, and he's being basically I guess like protected in a certain way, or you know what I mean, that they're giving him a good treatment. Man, what's that word I'm looking for? Um, but yeah, basically
they're trying to console him, you
they're
know, because
consoling him. He's being consoled
mm,
for doing stuff like that. That's just not, that's out of the question. That's a big no no.
so just to add a bit more context to that, he did an
Or
interview,
coddled, being
and
coddled. He's being coddled. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, him do an interview, and him sort of suggest that him try. Well, him suggest it. He never say it in any clear terms that him try to commit suicide. And people, because everybody was attacking him. Um, however them do that, I'm not sure. Um, and I'm not for that either. Somebody do something like that, you leave it up to the authorities them to prosecute him appropriately. You know, I don't feel like it's in anybody's power to um, you know, punish anybody or chastise anybody for whatever them do.
Right.
But not to say, and I make reference to this fire again. It's a fire we burn against that. You know what I mean? You leave the youth them,
Yeah.
leave the youth them, let the youth them grow. You know, but like I said, there's a lot of people who take this figurative fire and use it as a weapon. It's not a weapon where we're gonna say, yo, we're gonna look for this man and we cause him harm. You know what I mean?
Right.
You leave him and make the relevant authorities them consequence what him do.
Right.
Yeah. And even like the schools them, like the things them that them teaching in the school them, like how this even relevant to education. You know what I mean? Is a whole heap of sexual content in the school's library. And even this whole TikTok platform, if you notice the things them that we say as a dominant message is nonsense. But when you go in a certain Asian communities or Asian countries, the TikTok messages is educational,
Right.
you know. So it's a different message on the same platform. So more and more, and I think it even gonna be a very significant change in the near future in terms of how we consider morality.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's yeah. That's a lot to chew on. As a society, I mean, we definitely think everybody should be free, but I think sometimes as a society we need to evaluate ourselves just like our normal person would evaluate yourself and see how you want to move
Mm-hmm.
forward. I think as a society sometimes we need to do that as well. It was a lot that you said right there. So let me read a couple comments meanwhile, Chin.
Mm.
I think First Millennial Entertainment said that's a good point. Um, Ray, Ray, that's Ravian, that's my wife. She said, I'd like to see that interview. I guess she's talking about the what is the guy named Scofield, right?
Schofield there.
Schofield is a Schofield interview. Yeah, I want to see that interview as well, babe. Maybe we can watch it together, Ravian. Um, oh, oh, here's so Katrina said, I think it can cause. Look at Trump. We thought racism was going away until he awoke the beast. Just an example. A lot to swallow right there,
Mm-hmm.
huh? Maria said, I'm telling you, Rainbow, Rainbow took over the whole world. That's a fact. um, Nika says, it's a fact, the real. Yeah. Some of them comment, I'm not gonna really read them. I'm not gonna read some of these comments, but I encourage
But
everyone to keep
eh,
commenting.
to just expand on one of those comments from Katrina, about what we think about racism, and is a good point that I think,
Right, right,
because even though we're not seeing it, you might fool you into believing things improved, and it might not necessarily. It's just that you're not seeing it, you know. And I think this is another example where the sexuality where them imposing on the children, and the youths them, not because we're not seeing it. It happening, and it happening at an alarming rate. You know, even like, you know, some of the places where I expect better, like some of the children actors them come out and talk about them experiences in Hollywood. Um, you know, even, you know, some of these established organizations where children are being profiled and groomed, you know, to do certain things. So yeah, and the expected response is not what we're seeing. You know, we're seeing either a quietness, a turning of a blind eye, or a basic cuddling of these people because they have a certain status. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Wow. So I guess that's what I'm saying is like in this world there's gonna be people that's always gonna disagree with things, you know what I mean? Particularly lifestyle. So that's why I'm saying just to harp back around on the topic, um, the whole fire burn thing, I think I can see a resurgence of this fire burn music. Not to say it's gonna be big as it was before, but just for all of these things that you're saying, you know what I mean? Because I can imagine a man, a man that's a musician and have a strong, um, basically opinion on certain things, right? And that's very vocal. Hear all a thing like that about the guy, the Schofield guy, right now, and like what gonna stop him from just write a song and just burn some fire, you know what I mean? As you may see in a Jamaica, we have this problem with the guys that are raping women and killing them, and raping
Mm.
rape and graping. I don't, because YouTube, we have to be careful of this word, graping women, right? and basically, YouTube algorithm is so bad. I can't even say, but you know what I'm meaning. Jamaica has this big problem right now. There's a lot of guys that are doing that right now, and even Popcorn do a song basically condemning it, but not only condemning that stuff, but basically inciting violence and jungle justice against it. So that's why I say, while when people disagree on certain things, then that is where I can see the resurgence of things coming, of that type of music to come back. But what say you?
Yeah, there was always going to be people who disagree, you know. But I think what me getting at is that the narrative itself, meaning what is publicized, you know, for the most part, will be an acceptance, or you even see a greater acceptance, or an ignoring of the reality. You know, I think you're starting to see that a lot more. People ignoring the reality of what them know to be true.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that is just as bad as accepting it, in my view, anyways.
Hold on, say that again.
Yeah, the ignoring of these immoralities, you know, for example, the actions against women, children, and the
Right.
vulnerable, you know,
Right. Right.
ignoring it or turning a blind eye is just as bad as accepting it, in my
Right.
opinion.
Right. No, that's a fact. You definitely by right is supposed to give that some attention and make sure that the people that are committing these atrocious acts can basically be caught and put to justice.
Yeah, and you know, what you mentioned, you expect to see the narrative change. I would love to see the narrative change, but I feel like, you know, that is more of a hope than what you actually see unfolding in front of you. You know what I mean? And you make reference to the Jamaican society. Jamaican society itself has always been, um, what would you say now? we in a position as Jamaicans to be leaders of culture and leaders of an influential culture. But we're not that. When we in our behavior, you know, we're more susceptible to what happening elsewhere and try to adapt that rather than embrace what we know to be as Jamaicans.
Right,
And
right.
we find it ironic as well because everybody looking at Jamaicans is something in particular, whether it be our music with food, our, just with normal lingos, with language,
Right.
and trying to adapt that. But we're not embracing it. We're very quick to throw that away as soon as we see something that glamorize overseas.
Right. So do you think that a man coming out and singing music to say he's promoting oral sex, um, it's more likely for that trend of music to start than it is the fireburn music? Do you think that has a more better chance to coming?
It's a good question, and I'm gonna say yes because what 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 I think might happen in such a scenario, you might see a whole heap more people like Octane come out. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know, there's a lot more people me know that that you know. So here's the thing now, and you know this because we've been to Jamaican parties. So
Right, right.
in a party, a man say, "Oh, from you never bow." Bust a shot in the air and say bow. You know, there's a whole heap of hands going up that should never be going up. You understand? So as soon as as soon as that stuff will be glamorized now, and that's all it is, you make it attractive to be a part of this group of people, and music is a good way to promote a certain type of message because it sounds good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And the more you hear it is the more you start to take down your barriers or your opposition barriers.
Right.
And yeah, music is a powerful vehicle to get certain type of messages across. And yeah, so if that should ever um make itself in the Jamaican context, I feel like you probably have more acceptance than you'll have opposition.
Right. But I mean, basically, it's accepted for females because
Hmm.
almost every single female, have basically I sing straight up about that. The
Yep.
nowadays dancehall music and reggae music. You know what I
And
mean?
even female and female, we have as much opposition to that kind of message as you think there would be like 10 years or 15 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean, time has changed, man. Times has changed a lot, you know. So I guess I say that to say, maybe there'll be some guys that come up a smaller movement of it, because I don't know if you heard me earlier, but there was this guy that I brought up his name that, right now him a burn the fire, you know what I mean? And I mean, he has clout. He's like pretty much, you know, he's known in the media locally. I don't know about internationally like that, but Jamaica's media in general, they're aware of him, and he's burning the fire, you know.
Well, well, hopefully there will be more people like that will speak out for it and believe morally true. But it's just the thing that as I say, people who do this sort of thing are being consequenced, and you know, however that form of consequence come around, it unfavorable, and most people are trying to put them career in front of what them believe. You know what I mean? So you're going to need somebody who willing to self-sacrifice, and if me being honest, I can't really see where those kind of persons are gonna be popular.
Yeah,
It's almost like we need a Martin Luther King for music and culture, you know. And you have a few people where the arguing on the side of specific forms of morality.
yeah.
But you need more. You need more. You need a lot more that willing to stand in the face of adversity and say, no, this needs to stop.
All right. All right, people. And that was Chin. You know what I mean? Very opinionated person. One of my close brethrens. Um, and, he was actually the one that wanted to me to do this topic for one of my topics on the live. And, as you can see in the comment section, um, man, this topic evokes a lot of comments because people feel how they feel. Myself, Kadu, I'm merely a presenter. I'm not here to take sides or here to lean on any favor to anyone, but here to present the facts of the situation based on historical data that I researched and put it together for the callers and the commenters to say what they feel or how they feel about certain things. And at the same time, we're trying our best to keep it very respectful and just having a decent intellectual conversation, if you will. So Chin, me go get some other callers, So what anything you want close on before we run on the next call?
Well, first thing first, bless up, you even have me on the platform, and we just want to encourage everybody to, stick up for what them beliefs to be true, you know what I mean? And anywhere we say things that go against those beliefs, we need to speak up, protect the children, protect the youths, protect the vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
There you have it, people. That was Chin. All right, but we're gonna get right into the next caller, But before we get right into the next caller, let's reset the live now a little bit. We want to play back a Beanie Man tune for the people them whenever they are feed. So run it again, Beanie Man.
Boy, to the amount of fire we are burning, stand build up all nice sea.
Reset the live, people.
What a good thing, God bless you. Because here you go now. You see the fire burn. A word without words.
Hey, remember this?
Fire burn. And better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Fire burn. A word without words. Fire burn up the whole your mansion. Fire burn.
And better learn.
And everything out there you feel burn. Imagine you're just up in your latest wear. Put on your Versace cause a tight pants stay weird. You come out your ear or a stomach and say run off where. You feel like you want disappear. Imagine big dancer keep down in the scare. Woman in a mosquito and the tallest here. She come out your ear or a stomach and say
Bonafaz here. People listen to the lyrics.
Imagine you walk come from Savla March. See a Rasta man tired you know so him a walk far. Half a him a drive on him say oh yeah sir you know sister Rasta on the bar yeah. You see the fire burn, a word without words. Fire burn up the whole of your mansion. Fire burn, and a better land, and everything out there you feel burn.
All and pull up. We'd have to reset the live real quick. Go on, everybody feel on the live. Brrr. Big up. Yeah man, the live are going good. Want everybody feel like, share, subscribe, tune into the live. We're gonna have a lot more great topics like this that make people want comment, make people want call in. Pretty soon we're gonna have a call-in number for just a random person that's in the algorithm of YouTube that needs to call in, but we're not set up like that yet. So for now, the callers are kind of selective at this moment. But eventually, if you wanna, if you're on this live right now and you wanna call in, you can. If you have my contact, you can contact me. But if not, then you could search Kadu Williams on Instagram, and yeah. message me, or you can go into my channel, go into the about section. You'll see my email address where you can contact me. We can set it up so you can call in on the next topic. All right, so make we find Carlos now, aka Knowledge. All right, people, hold tight. Let's try it again.
Oh,
Knowledge.
yeah, man, we're there.
Up and running, man. What a go on, man?
Yeah, man, sorry, man, we just come off of the road, bro, man.
You
Trust
must
me.
say live, you know.
Oh, I'm live, you know. Oh, sorry, man, never realized.
Only for
Just,
things
all
are
right.
going.
Yeah, man, you know, I said, well, I'm gonna drive and think me that I'm here chin, man, and make some valid points, you know,
Yeah.
as it regards to this fire burning thing. And, I mean, my whole perspective towards the resurgence of fire burn music is that we can see it coming back, you know, but I just think at the end of the day, it all depends if what is trendy and what is the topic of the day. And I'll further expound upon that. All right, currently in Jamaica, to a large extent, the topic that is circulating is mostly about money making. It's about scamming. It's about gyrating, and it's about body expression. It's about body expression like piercing and tattooing and all these things. So I think that a lot of these artists now, I'm not gonna speak specifically towards the young one, they are mostly in the music business. I would say them in the music business, they are mostly in this business for money making. So you tend to find that they tend to focus more on making money versus trying to give more attention to morality and burning fire. But then though, when a lot of these artists enter the business, they were more in it for the love of it. And for example, if you look at the likes of like I don't know if I want to say Capleton was in it for the love of it though, because he's one of those face or one of those artists when they speak about the topic of fire burning, he's one of those artists who expounded on that to the extent where he was burning a lot of things figuratively, and that's why you have people like that, artists like Beanie now, who probably have a different notion. I want to say I wouldn't see him as like one of those like conscious Rastafarism, but he's more like I want to say he's more like a dreadlocks. Not to say I'm trying to disrespect Beanie Man. So I think he tried to become a Rasta because of the fashion of it versus the whole consciousness and the teaching of Rastafarism. So I guess at that time when Capleton was more preaching righteousness, was putting that fire, Beanie Man more see that as a means for him wanted to counter the argument because he just wanted to have a say, not merely for him talking about the whole consciousness of life and how people should live and all these things. So that's why I think at that time you probably have that little rift. But though, if you should ask me if Capleton was really into consciousness and righteousness, I think he was trying to push a message. And at the time, that's why you have a lot more artists who come in the business. They try to confront Rastafarism. If you realize a lot of them, the new artists, and but then most of them started out by start growing them here.
Facts,
I
yeah.
like to think that
Yeah.
I like to think that like it kind of stemmed from the whole Rastafarism culture because you realize a lot of them start growing them here. And when them start growing them here, even though they never start off as a Rasta, then you see them say, "Oh, I'm going to turn a Rasta now." If you check it, most of those artists now, all of them, the whole of them here grow up. We can't think of one artist in the business right now that they grow. Later on, they got trim. But I think they wanted to become a Rasta, wanted to not so Rasta, they wanted to get the seasons like they are more aligned to a culture which is more righteous. And that's why they decided to take that route. You know, but I think though when with other artists coming in the business though, like particularly in the late 90s, the early 2000s, you tend to find that there was a shift away from the whole consciousness. And uh, I guess when we talk about consciousness, though, we probably need to break it down a little because at consciousness, in the sense that are we talking about the bashing of homosexuality? Are we talking about or someone live to the extent that you tell them what to eat, you tell them about what they should do to their body. Are we talking about body expression? I think to a large extent, the conscious music that we see amongst Rastafaris was more targeting homosexuals. And I will say it again, it was more targeting homosexuals. It was also highlighting righteous life, but it was more when you hear a Rasta man sing a song, it was more burn out a certain group of people. Now, if you ask me if we should still have that topic being preached or sing about, I think yes, but I guess that my question is, to what extent though? Is it achieving their goal as an artist in the sense that they want to make money? So that I guess that's the reason why they actually navigate from those topics, because singing about those topics, I guess, is not really bringing or generating enough income that they're seeking to achieve. So that might be a reason why we tend to see a shift away from them singing about those kind of songs. But I think more can be done amongst these current so-called conscious artists. There's a lot of them still exist. I mean, the list goes on, but I think they can sing a lot more about the things that we are facing now in our society. I mean, to a large extent, we are seeing where rape is on the rise,
Grape,
and we see,
grape.
yeah, we see rape is on the rise.
Remember
We
the
see,
remember the algorithm. The algorithm. You have to say grape.
oh, grape,
Go ahead.
yeah, grape is on the rise. Yeah, sorry about that. And you also see where like this the lottery scamming is another thing. It's on the rise, especially in Jamaica. From ever since I think it's about 2008, we have seen an increase in lottery scamming. Now this topic is being glamorized in songs amongst the younger artists, and it's now become like a trend. Like it's okay thing to do. If you think about it, even Rasta and some soca Rasta, I don't want to call the name still. They start to sing about this thing what they call a banger phone. And once you hear somebody start singing about a banger phone, you know exactly the kind of message that they're pushing, because scammers use banger phone to get money from them victims. And there was a certain person still that sing a song like that. And I'm not. I think the earlier caller mentioned his name. I think I will not mention his name, but he sing about a banger phone. And if you see like a Rasta or a soca Rasta singing about those kind of things, then that goes to show you say the level of morality and consciousness that Rastafarians supposed to uphold. They're generally like deviating away from that topic.
But
So
is but you can't use one Rasta judge the rest.
I mean, but I mean, well, I'm not using one Rasta to judge them, but I mean, like, well, I guess the point I actually have to make, if you see like one, because now my mind a Rasta don't normally sing about them things none talk. So it's not like me use one Rasta for you say, boy, me I use it for say, all right, I'm going to say all Rastas are doing that. I'm just saying as I said, like Rasta shouldn't in the first place they get involved in all them kind of thing. It's just one, but I trust man, if you could dig deeper, there are many others, but I don't want to call any names, because see, to the extent we are some so-called Rasta, even bleach and all these things. I will not call any names though, because I don't intend to call names here, but I see a lot of those things that are going on. Some
Hold
even
on,
use
yeah,
Rasta.
Rasta way I bleach.
You know what? All right. I guess we should ask the question, Tristan. If you have somebody come in the business in the people's eyes as a Rasta, would you see that person as a Rasta, or do you like look out to see if that person is eventually gonna change from what they started doing? I mean, probably it's a rhetorical question, because I'm asking the question because I think that a lot of people use Rastafarism for exposure. And when they come into and when they come in and get acceptance, then they change. There's a particular person who did that, and I can call his name though, if you don't mind. And if you remember Cargo,
Yeah, man, no, not personally, but yeah, cargo, yeah.
yeah. If you think about it, we are when you come into business, did you actually see me upholding some righteousness, and I'm not even gonna say Rastafarism, upholding some righteousness, and like did you see him in that light at that time? because I mean I saw him within that in that light as a conscious person, but as time progressed, and I think there was more like a quest for dominance and quest for making money. I tend to see that there was a shift away from that,
But
from that style.
I think I think that's him personally having his personal shift. Yes, when he came in a time where, excuse me, it's not that you had to come in that way with that conscious Rasta type of vibe, but Cargo came in the time when you remember the drop leaf era of music
Yes.
when it was mostly conscious juggling music that you know was big in the dancehall. That was like a good 2 3 year that conscious music did just basically have dancehall in a chokehold. So Cargo was like right after that time basically. So he came in to music singing like conscious songs. Not to say that he would have came in any other way after. I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I don't know his life experience, but he came in with a Rasta energy. So did Octane. They kind of came in the same time almost. But after a while, you can see Cargo him change him way how him do things and him belief and stuff like that. And at this point, I mean, I think it's pretty clear him I don't like him a pose like him a Rasta or nothing. Him just present himself as whoever him feel like to present himself as, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I agree. But then, though, that goes to show you, is it a case where, though, like consciousness is no longer the order of the day, and trendy, more trendy and fashionable topics are the order of the day? Because I guess because nowadays I don't see any of these Rastafarians or so-called conscious artists that are upholding the standards that I mean Rastas are known for, you know, and the principles that they preach. I'm no longer seeing that, and I guess I don't know if we will see that even we see a resurgence of that topic. I might be wrong, but I just think that the music evolve, and you ever think about it, you have newer players in the music, you have the younger generation. Their topic is gonna be different from the topic of the past. You know, it's gonna be different from the topic of the past
So
because
you think you so it sounds like you're saying that the fire that was burning back in the 90s and early 2000s, it wasn't, most of the fire wasn't based on people just truly believing in the fire. It was more like a money thing, you know, because that was the music that was selling at the time. It sounds like you kind of say
yeah,
that
yeah, all right, you know what? Yes and no. I think to a large extent it's because it was trendy.
it was
It was
trending.
trendy.
Yeah, it was
It was
trending.
it was trendy. That's just my way of looking at it. Because if you think about it, and then because other artists use the same type of fire movements for coming at the business and get exposure. But after a time, and I've realized, I think just the method of entry into dancehall, when that no longer works, there'll have to be a new method. So that's why I think that more artists are there, they're resorting to other ways of venturing into this music business. So I guess that's just my reasoning. Still might be a reason why we say you tend to see a cool down at a fire thing there, because you not really trend anymore. You not really trend now. Every now and then you might have some Rasta come out and sing them this and sing about that. And it don't work. So if it like look on the likes of like some current artists who hold the business, yeah, like the likes of the Chronics and the Kabaka Pyramid, them have some our strong generation, a new Rasta and thing. I mean, they leave certain topics alone.
Yeah.
Them sing about Rasta, they leave certain topics alone. So I don't know if I guess Tristan, I guess the question me that are you talking about fire in the sense that them sing more about burning out sexuality, or fire in the sense that they should sing more about maintaining a certain morality in their lifestyle.
Fire meaning that basically the music that they sing to say, hey, we disagree with this is wrong. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to harp on a particular thing. For example, it doesn't necessarily have to harp on sexuality. It doesn't necessarily have to harp on alternate sexual lifestyles or anything like that. It could just be anything that the artist might think is in their, based on their morals, not right, basically, and they're basically saying, hey, we disagree, which is in terms of Jamaican terms, it's like we are burn a fire, meaning that we're disagreeing strongly, you know what I mean, basically. So that type of music was very, very prevalent in the 90s and the early 2000s. In fact, it was, you know, maybe not the international songs, but as far as in the Caribbean diaspora and in the local dancehall scenes here and abroad, that was the number one music being pushed out in every single session. That had a time for itself. So that's what I mean by that.
All right, but Tristan, yeah, I mean, but wasn't there a cost for that though? And the cost that I'm talking about, like, there's opportunity cost for that, you know, because it is either artists choose to sing about burning out a certain group of people, or sing about like certain topics that were more like friendly to the general public. As a matter of fact, the international are more friendly to the international community at large, because I've seen where a certain artist or a certain group of artists who are singing about certain things, bashing certain group of people, and then you see where another of their shows got cancelled. More particular, you see where Beenie Man back in the days, like as early as 2004, some of his shows were being cancelled because he was singing certain songs that were bashing the homosexual community.
Right.
So I mean, there was a cost to that. So I mean, and because they keep getting that pressure from that community, you see where there seems to be a drawback from singing about those kind of songs, because if you're an artist and you're in this business, that's how I think this music business come more prevalent. You're in this business to generate revenue for your family and yourself at large, then you tend to think that you're gonna have to try to clean your music up a little, because I mean, and that is just only for the bashing of those kind of people. Yeah. So they try to clean it up a little so that they can get more acceptance.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
So do you think the audience, the general reggae audience or reggae consumers, do you think that they're missing the fire?
Missing the fire. I mean, if you're going to talk about missing the fire, then I guess we're going to talk about demographics, you know, because you're going to you talk about like certain group of people, like the ages between like for example, like about 35 from about 16 to 40 right now. They might be the ones who are missing the fire. No, sorry. I mean, like 40 and above, they might be the one who are missing the fire. They might be the one who are missing the fire, because I mean, they have lived through an era where they see artists continually burning that fire, and they used to a certain form of body expression. They don't used to like to see the young girl like tattooing herself like that, the bleaching, and this whole acceptance of you know, like certain culture within Jamaica, which wasn't a norm. Now those things become a cultural norm.
Right.
They are used to that kind of behavioral pattern. So when you tend to see like these things are no longer being upheld, I think they are missing it. I think they are missing the fire. But the younger generation, though, and when I say younger generation, are probably from probably some millennials down to the age group of 16. I think some of them could care zero, because they live in an era when there were a certain group of artists who came and changed that culture of burning out certain group of people and maintaining consciousness.
Right.
And each time we talk about this, there are certain artists who are gonna come in the discussion about like being players in changing this this movements towards consciousness and maintaining morality within the music.
Right.
I mean, of course, you know, people are gonna mention about the Vibes Cartel.
Right.
They're gonna mention about the Lady Saw. They're gonna mention about even the Bounty Killer, because these guys they song about topics that are either raunchy or them sing about topics that have like some the push violence, you know, and they sing about topics that include some form of pornography kind of behavior, you know. So like these kind of artists now, I mean they have to transform the whole um direction of the music in the sense that they 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 allow these youths to be more gravitated to a kind of music which is not so, I would say, it does not bash people or dig deep into people's lifestyle, you know. So I think like that's the reason why we tend to see a shift away from that culture. But even the great Buju Banton, when he returned, he decided that he was gonna remove a certain song from his catalog.
From his cat.
And
Yeah, I did bring that up earlier. Yeah, and then TOK as well.
yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead.
and, y- and you know what's interesting though, you see that song, that Boom Bye Bye song that Buju did. I think Buju wrote that song when he was 15, you know.
Really?
Yeah, and that song released when he was 19. So
Wow.
yeah, that song released when he was 19.
Wow.
So
See, I didn't know that. I didn't. People, you learn something new. Buju Banton Boom Bye Bye was written when he was 15 years old and released when he was 19 years old. Go ahead.
yeah, so even though I think Buju was a young man then, you know. I don't know if at the time he was really like say, you know, believe. I mean, probably he was working because at the time that was something that was trendy. Even though he's like him at the first time was a blatant by expressing his feeling against those kind of people.
Big up yourself, Ali. Just joined the live. Go ahead, Carlos.
Yeah, I think he was young at the time, so maybe at the time when he sing that song, like I mean, he just wanna move with it because he was a young man. So I could see him the reason why now when he become like I don't know, you see where you know say this thing of money like Mr. Wayne it affect my career. It can lead to like him messing up in initial revenue and it can lead to a lot of like um damage to him career and things and decide say okay I can remove the song. I can see why he did that in a Tristan. I could see because at the time he was a young man, so if he was a kid and he do that, no, I mean him grew up now, him realize hey probably that wasn't even my business then, it was just youthful exuberance, you know, singing about
Yeah.
that topic because it trendy, you know. So I guess he don't need to sing about that no more, you know. So me really think though like to a large extent I just think like if an artist can leave certain topic alone, then can leave it alone. But we still need artists that are pushing the fire up about body expression. And we know we don't want nobody a comment and a talk about we got scam nobody and all them kind of thing. Because I know that is wrong, you know. I mean if that's what they're using to make the money, well that's their business, but I just think that can't be the topic of the day. We need artists who
In
have
the
a
music.
stand up for righteousness and stand up for like work hard, you know, tell the people to go work hard, teach you them about some investment and them thing. Because I don't think like a lot of times I don't even hear artists singing and telling nobody about alright, how to invest money like in the market or invest money in a business and all.
Legally.
Everybody,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
they're
hardly hear artists talk about them thing they how to make money legally and stuff like that. You know.
yeah, yeah, that cannot be the topic of the day when a lot of and when they're like the youth, you know, you have to be careful when you teach the youth them nowadays now because they're gonna be the future. So we want music that we want to hear your music about, like as I said, investment. Teach a youth how to start a business from scratch.
From scratch,
Teach a
yeah.
youth, how to obtain some financial knowledge that they can invest in some
Right.
real estate and all these things. This is a topic that we want because like it's different from like back then. I would like to think that you have a lot more educated artists now versus then. I mean, the chat, everybody in the chat can bash me if I'm wrong, but I just think that was the case. Nowadays, we can get better topics. Yeah, they can sing about topics that are more educational, topics that are more like more uplifting to the youth at large, you know. So
Yeah.
that's what I would love to see, and I would love to see like the continuation of conscious music because it's good for our society. And
So
yeah, go ahead.
So you don't think the Fireburn music will come back essentially?
No, I don't really think it's gonna come back. You will tend to have like every now and then you might tend to have an artist come and burn fire. Put it this way, you burn fire. But as I said, you talk about a different. Alright, every artist would have done at them peak back then. Them can't come and burn fire again, you know. But the thing is that, do you think they're gonna get any? It's gonna get any attention
I mean, they're gonna get some type of attention, but they're not
for how long?
probably not gonna get the attention from the mass, because the mass is, I think the mass is on a different wavelength as far as the things that they agree with and how they're trying to move forward as a society, you know.
But is it a case where they would love to see like they find like probably they need a different way of spreading that message though, because if the mass is not gonna gravitate to it, then that goes to show that probably the messenger need to come with a more creative way of bringing across that message to the general public.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that now is you to actually have to depend upon for continue with the fight. I just think the veteran artists them can mostly push that fire on a show. Because if you think about it, they're no longer in their peak.
Right.
You to look for them and say, oh, a sister sing that song, the man, he must say burn out this and burn out that. But after the next day, it's back to the norm, it's back to what I go on right now. So that's what I think it's really dependent upon the current artists, youth, to push that narrative of consciousness and righteousness and say this is what we are dealing with. But then again, I have to think about it. But if they are not righteous and they are not conscious, then how are they going to sing about it?
Yeah.
So it has a lot to do with not just artists singing about righteousness and consciousness, but the society at large need to push more morality. Because if more of that has been pushing, remember that you will tend to have more of that being more artists that sing about it, because in the day them say music art, express life and morally are going within the communities and about say if you have that being pushed within the society, then you probably might have more of that. So I mean, is it fair to say that the morality gone in general in our society? I don't know. Just actually
The morality change. The things that people find, the moral barriers that people had has changed.
Yeah, I'm so agreed. I agree with you that 100% because the moral barriers change. So because the fact that the moral barriers change, then you tend to find that like there is less regards for certain kind of time of topics. You get me? There's less regards for that. So people just sing about anything what they want. Sing about, do whatever they want do, because it's just free expression, free expression. But then again, you have the youth who will say, well, I mean, it's not like this business is like you have industrial police to tell you what to do and all them kind of thing. Because that's the topic that I hear floating around now. But you can't bother industrial police now. They do whatever them do what they want to do. You know? Yeah, you have like a certain person out there who bash rastas from left, right, and center, Right now, he might beat them bad. I'm not calling name either. I beat them bad. Yeah, we're not calling name, I think everybody in the chat know me refer to him, beat them bad. Yeah. He beat them bad, and then I can see, I can see why, he would have done that. But maybe the rest of them gonna say, well, man, like them can't bother wasting time on them things no more, because in the day them not benefit and money. Them gonna have some money them are looking up, because them gonna look and say, but them young youth are come and them make money right now. So what you think? If we continue come burn fire upon man and burn out this and burn out that, when we burn them out, we might lose a US visa. We can't go to England and all these things. So I think within them heart still them stand against certain things now. Them have their morals against those things. But
Yeah.
I just think they choose not to think to sing about that, because it's not gonna be beneficial to them. So yeah, everybody have to protect them revenue, because protect your revenue, man. We're probably gonna do the same thing though.
So all right. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Don't you think that, right? Some of these guys that used to think a certain way, they might have thought something was wrong or this or that in the past. They're not thinking like that anymore. They have grown, and their minds have changed, and their outlook on things are different. Don't you think that that's the case in some cases?
Well, yes, because as I say, when you're a young man, it's more about youthful exuberance. It's all about fun. You're thinking about like what's going on. So like for example, like a lot of those conscious artists, most of them start thinking about consciousness within at the time when probably they were young because that was the topic of the day. But now and the topic that they were singing about was like righteousness and fulfillment and health and all these things. I think they still maintain the whole agenda about health because you still Rasta still live that kind of lifestyle. Them still maintain them good health and believing in not eating certain type of food and living a certain way. But as far as thinking about a certain topic, I see I did change their mind on that because at the end of the day, as I said, it is not beneficial to them anymore. And they are being attacked as a result of that. So they decide to turn a blind eye to that.
All right. Any closing thoughts before I put Ali on the call, have him in the queue?
Yeah, I just think I wish I would see like a resurgence of consciousness, but I just think the society at large need to push a better narrative about we expressing more morality. And I think when that has been done, then we'll have more of our young artists to start singing more about those songs. But they also need help from the veteran artists to help to guide them in that direction.
Right. All right. That is it. That is it. All right, people. Chat, that was Carlos, you know what I mean? Calling, giving him 2 cents. Now, big up yourself as usual, my G. You know what I mean? Go and hold it in the Sunday, yeah? You know what I mean? Stay up on the live and thing. We're about to do I call it Ali, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right, bless up, my G.
Yeah, bless.
All right, people. All right, people. All right, people. Yes, man. Yes, man. Yes, man. Make we reset the live before we call Ali. We reset the live. Reset the live. Reset the live. All right. Run back the Capleton now. Run back the Capleton now. We reset the live.
Holy Emmanuel, I philosophy, I Rastafari. Well, the fire is for the purification of the how can you fight against fire? You know, you're getting the man you want to fight fire down. Not even you want some food that's still fire. So I say my bun car and someone attack, oh, you for bun car and you drive car. They don't understand what I mean and overstand. I say my bun car means you must put car in front of humanity. That means you must see your brothers and sisters to waste the car. Because people is more valuable than material. But if you're going like you want complicated or being ridiculous with the mental capacity, you know I'm going to make you know you want to get even with the fire. Well, anytime I go into my car and I drive car, I have to burn it. Because remember, when the press gas, I burn me, I burn gas. You know that. When the press my brake, I burn me, I burn brake also. When I turn on the ignition, you know much fire that's in my engine. If I need some music and turn on the stereo of fire, give me that. But what's the bigger judgment? If I need some cool air condition and fire generate that also. So always remember that the fire is the main source of life. Now pass the church and hear them the pan. Keep the fire burning, hear them again. A little more oil in my lap, keep it burning. Hear them now, God, now come back with no water, brimstone and fire. Now the fuck no confused about fire. The fire is for the purification. You don't want to know something? The herb heal. But it's still the fire for burn the herb, so the herb would not give us the heal. But you again, the water clean. But that's still the fire for burn the water and purify the water, so the water would not give us the cleanse. And the man would have the fire dead. Who are the Emmanuel?
All and pull everybody up on the live. All right. Bless up everybody up on the live. Like, share, and subscribe, my people. Like, share, and subscribe. But if you had another caller, this is going to be the last caller for the show. Then we're going to wrap it up. You know what I mean?
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Live, we live.
Manners and respect, man. Manners and respect, for real, man.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, man. You know, yeah, man, we just stay here going easy back and not taking the live here too, you know.
See it.
You see me? Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
People, if you
Yeah, man.
remember, this is Ali from the last couple lives. You know what I mean? Calling and vibes up the program. Ali have some good takes. Go on, go on.
Yeah.
How is everything? Everything is everything?
You know, we can't complain, you know. You see me? We have life, though.
Naturally.
We can't complain, brother. So, you
Naturally.
know, right, that's right, there, man. Yeah, man.
Naturally.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So,
yeah, man.
you didn't catch the
Mhm.
first part of the show?
No, I never catch the first part. I did up on the road.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So,
but,
but
yeah.
you read the script though.
Really, yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Zine.
Yeah, man.
So,
So, you know, the funny thing is, you see that script there? It
yeah.
kind of bring back to a point where me that bring cross. What do you would I talk about? What you call it? Trap dancehall. Let me
Yeah.
just tell you that, you know, you see reggae before all the transformation of what reggae is right now. Reggae before used to do with fighting like oppression, you know, freedom. Reggae used to be for freedom, for the ghetto people, for the poor people, you see me? Bring upon a level of consciousness where, you know, which we needed back then and we need now. You see me? But one of the things when I read this, one of the things when come across to me is that it's so funny that you have song like Bob Marley song, Could You Be Loved, right? Where kind of transform the face of reggae in a different light. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Just like we have like Night Nurse and them stuff, you know, them other songs,
Mm.
you know, the way them try. There's a lot of people that understand, you know, stuff like when they start venturing a certain topics, especially when it come on to reggae, because of what reggae stand for. The moment you start venturing a certain topics, you're gonna lead it in a different direction. And it's not like them man they deliberately do it, but you know, it's just the nature of the thing.
Right. So once them start to touch certain topic,
Right.
people feel so strongly about it until it becomes a
Ma-
trend.
Right. So I'm gonna show you something. Bob Marley sing redemption song.
Mm.
And you know, Three Little Birds and them song there. Yo, them song there reggae. You see me? Them song there are reggae, so them song there hit the consciousness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you see the moment when him sing now, could you be loved? And our the same Gregory Isaac will sing Night Nurse, for example.
Right.
You see me? When we realize what Night Nurse mean, you see what that or manage to bring that in a reggae and the whole reggae accept it. You
Yeah.
see me? So when you start venturing at certain things, what you do now, you start opening up doors and avenues for other artists now to come in and put, you know, implement for them little style and flow and change up reggae. At one point, you know, I thought that Chronics would have come and change reggae and bring back reggae to, you know, be that flag bearer for reggae. But you look at reggae right now, you see reggae just slowly, basically, die out. Everybody just take on reggae. A foreign artist right now. I bring reggae more than we, the Jamaican or the people where you know they fight against the oppression and you know. Mm-hmm.
So is it that reggae is not that strong overall, or is it just not that strong in Jamaica
Right now,
right now?
because reggae don't have that morals and standard what we did have before. I believe that reggae isn't that strong like how it should be. Yeah, remember, you know, reggae used to be like that premium type of music where everybody wants, you know. You know, everybody when they hear reggae, everybody did want a piece of reggae. You know what I mean? Everybody did love reggae. Cause reggae did stand for something. Right now, reggae, boy, reggae they all over the place. Remember, you know, a reggae bird dancehall, you know, believe it or not, you know, a
Yes.
reggae bird dancehall.
Yes.
You see me? So, cause what happened, you know, is that these type of artists, when them listen to the reggae and them hear, you know, some girl tune are playing a reggae, and so guess what them do now? Them implement them song there in a fit them little type of genre and create dancehall and start become slack with it.
Right.
You see me? I say. Mm-hmm.
And then
So,
create
uh,
hip hop.
and dancehall create a dancehall was one of the flag bearer for hip hop.
Well,
You know.
that's gonna be the next topic. We're not go too far now, but go on talk.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But the thing is, as me say, you know, one of the thing with reggae right now too, reggae don't have nobody responsible again where me can say, yo, all right, you know, say, Bombard, the artist here stand up for reggae, or, you know, he might bash up on reggae. Right now, everybody I go for money. And I think me here, young Carl, I catch a part, if me not lie, when me here, young Carlos, I talk about, you know, these older artists, and money mainly them a go for as well. You see me, so nobody now focus on morality again, because morality now bring money. And a lot of people that understand say all of these changes is not reggae alone, but society in general change. You see me I say? Why me say society in general change is that if you look on society right now, we're so exposed to everything. We're exposed to Instagram, you're seeing sexy woman, seeing gunman, seeing everybody now. You see me I say, if a man come up right now and I sing a reggae tune, if a Damian Marley drop an album or drop a tune right now, one single you see me a single tune, for example. Yes, it now go grab me. I think it go gravitate to the mass like how a Skeng would have drop a tune right now. You know what I mean? So right
Yeah,
now
but when hold
reggae.
on, when you say the mass though, you have to explain the mass because right now I think when Skeng drop a song, right, it big at Jamaica, right, it big in the Caribbean diaspora in other countries, right, like the United States, Canada, UK, but
So
I mean I think when Damian Marley drop a song, it would have tear up the whole of Europe where it's not a Caribbean diaspora, and we don't know nothing
right,
about it.
right, all right, that's fair enough. You know one of the reasons why that is too? Because them can market all of Damian Marley. You see me I say? When Damian Marley drop a tune, them know say yo that song there, it gonna be a conscious tune, yes. And them can take it and market it. Now, when me did say the mass still, me that talk more of the Caribbean people. Because you know, when we first talk about reggae was our music. And when we say our music, I mean like black people, you know, the Caribbean, Jamaican. You see, I understand say reggae gone all over the world. I understand that. But we the core of reggae, the core people of reggae, right now, we should accept it and be, you know, the flag bearer of it, we allow other people to come in, take it over. Look on the Grammys. Every time nowadays me hear a Grammy, somebody win a Grammy. I say, who them people here? First me I hear them. I doubt if them know if it's Jamaican, for example, or African. You see me I say?
Right.
Mm. So what me think still as when me sit down as a young youth where grew up in a reggae, where was fortunate enough for kind of experience a change from reggae to you see me the dancehall and all of that, you know. When me grew up I'm sit down and look at it, reggae lost its substance. Some people would agree, some people would disagree, and you know, whichever fence you fall upon, you know, at the end of the day, you can't see it for yourself. Reggae slowly lose its substance.
And when you said
Its
lose its
influence.
substance, what do you mean by losing its substance? You mean the
Its
content
influence.
or
Eh?
not the content,
More
the influence?
the influence, more the influence. Cause when I used to hear reggae song play, right? People used to cherish reggae song. We still cherish it enough. But I think we have that what would I say? That reverence with or I not even know. May I try find a correct word or me can use, but use reverence right now. We used to be more reverent to reggae. You know, reggae used to be that music where with you know, we carry that moral standard. You know what I mean? Nowadays, reggae they all over right now. Reggae they all over.
Anika said these younger generation do not appreciate good music. But you know what? I think reggae nowadays, modern day reggae, in my opinion, it's less about consciousness and righteousness. No, it's more like pop music to me because it's just pop music with a authentic Jamaican reggae sound. You know what I mean?
All
If
right.
you listen to
Me
topics them, you
respect
know.
yeah. Me respect an artist like Chronics. Me respect what's your name? Coffee? For
Yeah.
example, because you classify Coffee as a reggae artist. That's why she classify herself
She
as,
is
right?
a reggae artist. She is a
Right.
reggae artist.
But if you notice her, you notice the song that she sing, right? Them song that they really go off of the consciousness, Them song they more
Pop.
nowadays,
To me,
no more
pop.
go for society right now. The little hype what it can bring. Like for example, Toast what she sing where it got so big. You know? Toast would that be classified as a reggae music. You see me I
Yeah,
say?
yeah. I mean, I think people blur the lines when they say because I hear that some people don't think that Coffee is like a reggae artist. But I don't think that you have to do like the roots one drop reggae rhythm to do a reggae track.
No,
You
you
know what
see,
I mean?
and that's why reggae is where it's at right now. You see me? That's why I can't remember, we have to go back to the base of what started reggae. You know what I mean? And I believe where reggae start was because of people, this oppression, you see me? People I got through hard time. Reggae was a poor people basically. A poor people music. You see
There
me?
you go.
Help you through your day and all that. But now, what me I said, no, them transform reggae to the point where we really not even know what reggae is again. And what reggae should have stand for. You see me I say? So when we hear Al Caffey now, and we hear say she's a reggae artist, we not even know we there in our two minds with that. You see me I say? Because right now to the standard of where reggae is right now, you know, we caught in two minds.
Yeah.
No, if you look back on a Bob Marley, we can use Bob because Bob one of the most famous, if not the most famous reggae artist. When I look back on Bob Marley, I hear enough of Bob Marley song. Majority of Bob Marley song used to go for the consciousness. That's why that used to gravitate. A lot of people used to gravitate so highly. You see me of Bob Marley at Bob Marley songs. You know what I mean? But no, as I say, because reggae has lost that substance
Right.
where it used to have, that I believe that it used to have. Nowadays, when people hear reggae just fly over. And then another thing too, you see what society, remember this too, society play a big role in this. In other words, society gravitate more to the explicit type of explicit type of contents right now. You see me? If you're not sing about, if you have 10 girl, if you're not sing about, have sex with this a girl or bust gun and all of them things there. In all honesty, them younger generation here right now, they don't want to hear. You see me? They don't really want to hear, and that's why we don't hear much reggae like that. We more hear, alright, we more hear enough of them artists here. Even reggae artists, we used to like the Sizzla Kalonji or so. Sizzla did sing a song what they hear, I'm say Jano, the man they make Sizzla to change up everything. Same thing with Buju. Remember Buju was a reggae artist that people look up to, Then what Buju go do? Him go sing like a song like Driver Don't Stop at All. You see me? And all of them little songs there where they have nothing to do with reggae. We have them there show that has some negativity, right?
Hold on,
Negativity
hold on the alley. Hold on the driver don't stop at all. I think I would disagree with you there. You know why? Because I referenced a song earlier from the 1980s. John Holt, Police in Helicopter. Police in helicopter, a searching marijuana. Soldiers in the field, searching for cali wheat. But if you continue to burn down the herb, we're gonna burn down the cane fields. That's go ahead.
May I show you something, right?
Yeah.
May I use a Rastafarian religion right now? Because a Rasta, most people that say reggae come from, the Rastafarian culture as well. You see me?
Yeah.
What is one of the main thing where Rasta, what one of the main symbol where people, Rasta people in general use to get to that, high level of consciousness? Weed, right? No.
Yeah.
Them man you sit down, wait, the same song where I sing, if me not lie, he was just talking about, basically stuff where him see in terms of when police want bomb down in the weed and the weed field and all of that, right? If me not lie, I think that's him that sing about.
Right.
Right? Now, he must sing about something where you see me? Something he must sing about basically that tree where you know you can take faith to reach to that level of consciousness. So he must sing about marijuana basically. You know, the brutality of marijuana. You see me I say? Or the way them criminalize marijuana by burning it down and tell you say you can't use it and all of that. No, compared to driver don't stop at all. He must sing about coke. You see me I
Hold
say?
on. No, hold on.
Eh?
Where in that song you don't refer to quote though?
Then back to about reference to it, you know. You see me?
I thought the whole time I thought that song was referring to marijuana.
So it's find out the part when him sing about when him say about marijuana.
Driver, don't stop at all.
Don't
Drop
stop
this
at all.
Arizona down
Yeah.
at Albemarle. Driver,
Driver,
don't even.
don't even itch.
No, I say a pound, pounds man a ship, pounds man a ship, green like grass, brown like chocolate. That you know, that's not like.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
So well, maybe I made it wrong with it, cause me did misinterpret that thing. Yeah, you know. Maybe say, but in other words, the next thing what me have to still, right?
Yo, love it. Yo, go and talk still.
No, but don't ever wrong, you know, cause I thought all this time, we used to think, say, I think that the man I sing about, you know. Then I say, yo, your brother, you put you on a play. You know what I mean? But I think, you know, how make it worse, but one would thought that, because during that same time, I think during that time, him get catch, no? When that tune that drop out, you know, the air that?
It wasn't long after though.
Eh?
It wasn't long after though.
It wasn't long after, so that's why me have it as that's your quote him always talk about all this time. But again, my facts that wasn't facts. My opinion was wrong on him. You see me? But what may I try to say still? Normally, nowadays, the way them are bring across this reggae nowadays, you know, it's not based off a level of consciousness where reggae should have been at. Just like back in the days. You know, where they must speak a lot more about oppression and right now in a dancehall, they have a mixture of everything. Dancehall I hear them a sing about the politician, them a sing about being oppressed, them a sing about a lot of different stuff in a dancehall. So right now sometimes you not even know the difference between dancehall and reggae. Sometimes.
CJ Facey said music these days is less about the art and philosophy and more about the hype and making money.
Alright, let me tell you a funny thing. A funny thing is, the other day, me and my wife, they talk about the same music. And I said to her, yo, one thing people fail to understand. These musicians are artists, right? So at the end of the day, them are gonna make them, you know, them are gonna make whatever art. When you come on, when I say art, I mean music, where them think society need. Cause right now, you can't bring a conscious tune in a dancer, in a reggae right now. And I talk about the Caribbean now, and I talk in general. You can't bring a conscious tune and say, yo, you know, say that tune here go be a big hit. Yo, the only way that will be a big hit, you have to bring that to Africa or you know, people who want to listen to them conscious stuff, them conscious music there. Nowadays society, the way society change. People, the younger people now, we don't want to hear that. We want to hear gunshot, we want to hear people are dead, we want to hear all for sex girl, we want to hear all different type of stuff. But not
Bust them head and bang a line.
Because, now sure, yes, because another thing too, as me and our reason, I tell her, say, yo, listen, you see social media play a big role. You see people become exposed. So everybody bring them own opinion on social media. So people are going to start gravitating to every damn thing. Whether it's bad, whether it's good, and we see nowadays how people are gravitating to a lot more negativity because negativity sells. And that's why you see enough of them artists here, whether things stand up for, you know, whether stand up for the right, as we are seeing some tune that talk about kill man and how much gun them have and thing, including a man like Sizzla. You see me?
So, First Millennial Entertainment, read some chats. First Millennial Entertainment said Coffee is doing reggae music, but I just think we are a bit resistive to changes. reggae music has evolved and the topics and the style of delivery will never be like the past. CJ Facey says art is meant to be personal and creative. So the audience shouldn't choose what the artist creates, but the artist should create to captivate the audience.
All right.
Say what you're gonna say and then me follow.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I said this. The first one. What did read about the first one? Again?
Coffee is doing reggae music, but I just think we are a bit resistive to changes.
Yeah.
Reggae music has evolved, and the topic and style of delivery will never be like the past.
Okay, we understand that. You see me, but the message. We can't shoot the messenger, you know. But the message where them are bring. The message where reggae used to bring back then, as I say, used to, gear more to the consciousness. Gear more to help people through, you see me, them depression, tell you emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Enough people not even know that. You see me? The way we Bob Marley talk about mental slavery and them little stuff there. Now, when you hear a coffee like Toast, for example, and may I use a song there because that song is one of the most popular songs.
Right.
You see me? That song, they more come like a hype song for me, more than being a conscious reggae music. And the reason why we can classify reggae music, and again, everybody have their own opinion on what reggae music is. But because I, grew up listening to, the Bob Marley, the Garnet, Silk, oh Mama, and all them little song there.
Yeah.
When you hear some
Mama,
of them
mama.
all right, look on that song.
Yeah.
You know one of the next thing too, when me say too, nowadays you barely hear man a sing about all them mother or father, you don't hear them there that much again.
Good
you
point.
More I hear,
Good point.
Yeah, you more hear people are sing about again gun, sex, sex girl, how much girl if you have, how to be a scammer, you see me, how to make money illegally and all of them stuff. You more hear people and go for all of them negativity. No, look one coffee again. Again, me personally, I will never bash a person. You see me? Whatever you want to be, that's you. Me can't control you.
Right,
you see me?
right.
Me can't control the variables. Now
Right.
the other day, I say coffee. As a reggae artist, so-called reggae artist, was to classify ours. You see me? I'm gonna sing song with my name Sam Smith. The way the man are just like girl and all. I don't know if you know that song there.
I heard of it, but I'm not up on it. I heard of it, but I haven't watched the video or I haven't even heard the song, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, the reason I bring up that come back to the point where the person where write that chat there first. Me just come back to our point when I say, yo, okay, Coffee is a reggae artist, all right, yeah. But you see the standard of what reggae used to be or the core of reggae, Coffee now follow because Coffee should never be indulging into something that reggae didn't accept or reggae don't accept. You see me I say? That's the point we want to bring across right there.
So do you think the audience, the general reggae audience, or general reggae consumers, do you think that they're missing the fire, the fire bun in the music?
Like you mean like the morals, the
right.
righteousness?
Right. The reinforcement of righteousness through fire burn lyrics.
We're seeing that right now, and that's why I said I'm no real true flag bearer again of reggae because everybody have focused on money. So guess what I know? An artist, for example, this is an example I use now. A Capleton. Back in the days, a Capleton would probably come out and bonfire upon a copy, right?
Right.
When she had a certain little stuff. And this is just example. But nowadays, you're not hear Capleton do that. You're not hear no artists that jump out and do stuff like that again because everybody I watch them pocket. We lose, we get blind to our morals and I look at the financials now. You see me I say? Because I'm gonna look at it and I say, me a reggae artist for a good while, for a long time, and me I sing a lot of conscious tune and nobody not gravitate to it. And the one little time I go sing a little girl tune or whatever, or gunman tune, me I make even more money than me little reggae tune them when me use start try drop. And that's why you hardly find an artist right now we just want to sing reggae.
Yeah.
You see me? You hardly find that. The more you would find an artist we want to sing all the negative tune. And as Vice Cartel once said, though, negativity sells, you know. You see me? And that's why
It
enough
does.
of them artists are, eh?
It does.
Yeah, and that's why enough of them artists are, gravitate to that side of the music, and including the reggae artists them too. You know.
So I have a question,
Right
right?
now,
I have a question.
mhm.
Can we see a comeback of the fire burning messages in reggae music?
Honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think so. I don't see it. I don't see it because I don't see no trend of where a change I got happen. The thing is, we allow so many sectors to come and take over reggae. When we say sectors, we mean all different type of artists now are come and take over our music, reggae music. So and then you have that flag bearers again, as I said before, that would have stand up and I say, yo, listen, my man. No, this is not where we want our reggae music to go. We are gonna bonfire and we are gonna bring back that again, that fire burning, that righteousness, that moral back into reggae. When we say when we should have realized the reggae gone, or reggae is not ours no more. You remember when Snoop Dogg had done when Snoop Dogg got transformed? Remember
Snoop
lyrics him
Lion?
a transform to Snoop Lion and all, and the way the man did halfway back and forth, and we as Jamaican and the rest of man them way that stand up for reggae and so the whole of them they behind him and love the crowd where them a get. Cause guess what? People are forward now. One go Bobo Hill, one go Yasso, one go Deso. Because Snoop I do it so everybody know. We get so caught up in a way. Society want. You see me? Where these guys don't see again, where we are lose this reggae. We are lose the substance. You see
So
me? And that's how
you don't think? All right. What are your thoughts on the new reggae revolution artists that are on the come up are also they already have been on the come up, such as Chronix, Proto J, Kabaka Pyramid. I mean, like when you see an artist from the river, besides Bob Marley, kids them and some older artists, win a Grammy, that says a lot for the reggae revival revolution movement that is coming. What are your thoughts on that?
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something right quick, right? When you look on the Grammy, for example, a lot of these artists here get nominated. When I talk Chronix now, you see me? I talk maybe in the past, maybe 3-4 years or so, or 5 years. When you look on the Grammy, may I use the Grammy? Or any awards, where, international awards. Right nowadays, when it come on to reggae, when them a give Grammy to reggae artists, right? Be honest, sometimes, some of them artists, when them a give
No.
them awards too, sometimes you say them artists that live all the way in Europe and them place there. You see me I say? But them guess what them a do now? Them kind of have the same opinion, just like the person write the thing there earlier, right? Writing earlier. The thing is, what may I say? Because we lose our the core value of reggae,
Right.
right? It's hard to see reggae being what it should have been, or what it stands for, because again I understand society change, everything in life is subjected to change. I understand that. You see me I say? And again, we can't bash these new artists we are forward like the Protege, the Chronix and all of that, because them are go with the changes. Now here with the part of my bash. My bash the one them where I come out for an interview, where I come I talk about reggae the stand for this, or even dancehall when you hear them attack. Dancehall. So where were you guys when this transformation was happening? Where was y'all voice? Where was the songs where y'all was put where drop and a condemn certain things? You see me? And one man will condemn it today, and then tomorrow you hear him come out and say, oh well, let them do what they want to do, because guess what I'm now? The fact that him go condemn him since a fee money dropping up. You see me? So as me say, everybody I go for the financial gain of it. So nowadays, I don't know if we want to class some of them songs we hear drop as reggae, but I guess it need a genre, you know.
I think there's also, I mean, there's also another movement which is kind of like a subsection of the reggae revivalist movement with other young reggae artists where come up and them true to them Rastafarian beliefs and them Afrocentrism and them hold on them true to them Rastafarian belief and them true to them Afrocentrism and they're making money, but I feel like they're not gonna, well, at this point, I don't know if maybe in the future, but at this point, from what I see it, they're not making money get into the way of them expressing how they feel and things. And I'm gonna name two of them artists there. One of them a T-Jan and another one charge of me know 5 star. Me have a big up 5 star, big up yourself. I've been watching him for a while and in progress. I've been knowing 5 star for quite some time from him. I'm a high school and thing. Me always I watch what I do and till me see him coming of age in the Rasta thing, and you know what I mean. Them man they grow them locks down to them foot like Junior Gang, and them man they serious about them Rasta thing. You know what I mean? So me have to respect him. Me not feel like say him a one of the guys them where you can buy out. So I feel like there's some guys like that where they on the come up, where they on the rise. Where I burn a certain fire, they might not burn it the same way or it did a burn back in the day, but them still the overall message is that them strong in what them believe in and the morals that them have, you know.
Them man there them man there the flag bearers then, right now. And yeah, I'm glad you bring up T-Jan for example, cause somebody will me know, you know, and thing. What I say no, I don't mean like no, you see me, but somebody will me see.
You know off. Yeah.
And one of the funny thing is, I listen to some of theme song them, and it's the song them when the man that drop, Bridget. Them song here is cool. Them song here full of substance. Them song here make you listen and make you meditate. Right? But you know what happened? And this is not T-Shan fault. This is not even reggae fault, to be honest. This is how the society are move. The way the society are move right now, I sure we say them don't want them type. Them don't really need them type of music. The music here, them not gravitate to. A handful of people it are gravitate to. You see me I say? I want to say handful, I mean just a small portion of society. That's what I believe. And if you notice, them man a song now get a constant rotation. But make a player, wait that brother named TJ, The Drift, you know that song The Drift?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are the biggest song right now in a dance song.
Alright, but make T-Jan or one of them man they are I don't know if you know Samurai. A youth named Samurai. Make one of them drop a tune right now. Trust me. You hear it, you get a glimpse of on YouTube or if somebody send it to you. But it now go big, you now hear people you see me push it. You now hear people do review on it and all of them stuff there. Well, I say here man do a review on a reggae song.
Wow, you just give me a title, bro.
Yeah, man.
You just give me a title for your click for your video, you know what I mean? But go ahead.
Man.
But that's a good thing though, like that's a good point. Like I could tell when since me hear somebody review a reggae song because maybe because like I listen reggae, like I know like new reggae will come out, but maybe because I'm not like looking at certain like vlogs or whatever that deal with reggae, maybe I'm not seeing them. Maybe there are reviews for reggae songs, but I'm not seeing them because I'm not looking at those vlogs. I'm mostly seeing reviews of dancehall song, and it would appear that reggae songs are being promoted differently from dancehall songs, where you would see dancehall songs being promoted heavily on the vlogs, but reggae songs, I'm really not even sure where reggae songs are being promoted, to be honest with you. I just hear them on the DSPs and stuff.
Yeah, it come back to what me tell you. What me said earlier, everybody I look for the money. A vlogger, right? Right now, a vlogger is one of the most important person or entity in a music, right? Because a vlogger can push a music out there to more people without you as an artist or your management team if you jump around, you see me I do a whole heap of work. Now, these bloggers, and yes, I use them because they're part of society and them help to push the music, whatever type of music, them help to push it to the wide audience, right? When them blogger you look now and say, all right, let me do a t-shirt review, and them see say, yo, them video uh probably maybe about 2,000, zine, 2,000 views and so. But them go say, all right, I'm gonna do a cartel review or go do you see me, a Skeng or one of them man there. You see say, yo, them views gone up to the hundreds of thousands.
Right.
So what them are gonna do now? Them are gonna kick back and say, you know what? No, sir, nobody not gravitate to this number. So here what? We could go do a lot more of them dance or whatever we are get more reviews. And the reason why again is because of society. I want to say society mean people in general now. You know, society bring forth this again social media bring forth this negativity. Make people love this. Everybody love negativity. If you are artist, you have to do something negative to get your stuff themselves. Because again, your record label are gonna push that too. If you do something controversial, because them have to make them money. Yeah, you have to look on that too, you know. Them everybody have to make them money, you know. So here what when they hear man, when they hear the when they label say, yo, listen my man, here what ease off of the concert tune, drop them type of tune, and we're gonna push it. Because them tune want the young people them a hear, because them tune the young people them want to hear. You see me? And that I got me, I gotta see more of them, you see me, them type of, explicit songs.
Right.
More grab on. You see me? I push on me. Or you will hear more of a what did I say, like a groovy type song, like again,
Pop.
like Toast. You see me?
Yeah,
Almost
like a popish
style.
yeah.
Yeah. You hear more of them and them classify it as reggae. Yeah, I'm watch the Grammy, and when me hear some people where I win the Grammy, I mean I say, yo, brother, I never hear them one in years in my life. I not even know one of them songs where them man sing. But apparently, that's what society was. That's what society are classifying.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Hey, me read a couple chat. Let me read a couple chat. CJ Facey says, the Rasta fraternity actually had major issues with Snoop Lion still. You brought that up earlier, Ali, when you said Snoop. I guess you were saying that there was like a resurgence of conscious music when Snoop Lion, because of the influence and stuff that, you know, as a big rap artist come. But apparently CJ said the Rasta community in general had a major issue with him, even though there was like a lot of guys that accepted him.
But let me ask, my name CJ this real quick.
CJ
Why
Facey.
them allow Snoop Dogg, right? Why them allow Snoop Dogg for take reggae as a puppy show basically and the Rasta culture? Why did they, if them have such problem with them, Bubba Hill are one of the most recognized places of where Rasta dwell, right? Why them allow Snoop Dogg to up there much time with them? You see me? I smoke and I kick back and I go on with him antics. You see me? I say, them should have stopped it from the man forward and them sit down with him and say, yo, all right, where head space? Make us see how you are roll. You see me? And from you see how the man are roll, you just say, all right, you know what? You're not for Rasta. You just say Rasta. Look, you improve it.
But
look what
can I play devil's advocate?
Yeah.
You don't think it could be a case to where Snoop Dogg at that point Snoop Dogg was probably in his early 40s, right? As a man going into his early 40s, achieve everything that you can possibly achieve in a music already. It's not about money anymore. At this point, you're trying to find a purpose. Coming from a world of violence and gangbanging and stuff like that, you're trying to find something peaceful that you can live by, because that probably way in your heart truly. You see the Rasta community from afar, and then you even probably know people from the Rasta community, and you're like, man, I wish I could live like that, to live off the land and live the basic human life and praise God and smoke the most amount of weed they want to smoke in the world, and talk about positivity and consciousness, beat kettle drum and tell stories at night time and stuff like that. You don't think that part of Snoop was him trying to get closer to God by going up to Bubble Hill?
It could be. Don't get me wrong. It could be. And me wouldn't know unless me ask Snoop that. But then me da ask Snoop too. Me da say, so why you jump on thing there, you know, and just jump and follow and go full blown in the Rastafari culture. You know, one of the things where I believe we push Snoop for the in the Rastafari, where we push Snoop to be a part of the Rastafari culture,
What
is
is
that
it?
kind smoke. We used to smoke a lot of weed. When you look in at the culture, when you look overall in the world overall, which culture allow you to smoke weed till thy kingdom come?
What religion?
What religion?
There's a couple religions, like the Sikh religion and stuff like that, where they smoke. I don't know if it's weed, but they smoke though.
But that's what I'm saying. Rasta is the well-known. Rasta tell you, say yo, a weed we love smoke and a weed help if we, you know, get to that high level of consciousness.
Yeah.
You know, and thing. Now, my question to Snoop as well, right? So why are you no? Why you in the Rasta again? Since you did want, you know, get so close and you know, you try search for that faith where you look for. Why aren't you still in the Rastafarian culture?
Maybe my Rasta and I'm hard still, you know.
Brother, the stuff them with Snoop start deal with and start a promote and so maybe me don't know. But I guess if you are and if you're true to yourself, I would think you will be true to yourself straight through.
And
You
also remember, said to you know,
Mhm.
where I get some feedback.
I don't. Hold on. Uh, feedback now.
No, good. But also
Okay.
remember, said to you know, Snoop Dogg did I get a fight because remember it was this thing. I think him and Bunny Wailer did have a disagreement. You know what I mean? And for Bunny Wailer as a icon in a reggae music, if you have a disagreement with you, you have to find out say yo, it have a hard for really cohabitate in that society. You understand what I say? Because a lot of Bunny Wailer might have a lot of people that has been doing him forever as an elder, and they're gonna side with him over like this new guy that is just some famous rapper that will, you know, come and want to live in our society and he never put in no work. You understand? Bunny Wailer been doing this his whole life. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I would believe, and this is my 2 cents. Zin, I think what happened is that Bunny Wailer, when them accept Snoop Dogg in the Rastafari, you know, in the Rasta religion or Rasta culture, I think that Bunny Wailer starts see Snoop where him believe Snoop really is. You see me? Almost like a culture vulture.
Yeah.
You see me I say? Because the reason why I say it again, Snoop's, yeah, alright. Well, back in the what? Maybe 2014, 15 them time there. Snoop, you used to name Snoop Lion.
Yeah.
I think, me not give quite sure.
Snoop Lion him did change his name to Snoop
Yeah,
Lion and do a reggae album.
and do a reggae album and all of that. See? And thing. No, you know the reason why, as I say, a man like Bunny Wailer probably see through the BS. And then we can't say bullshit, but the BS. You see me?
Yeah.
Is because you know, when he probably look upon it and him say, all right, you're the flag bearer. So he start promoting more then. You see me? And start, him more do it for himself. Snoop Dogg do it for himself, which you understand. But if you're going to be a part of a man culture and you have that influence, start promote the positivity more.
So, all right.
See me I say?
So I'm going to read a couple chat and then we're going to wrap it up, Ali. We are so outward. First Millennial Entertainment says, we are so outward looking as a society, so it's only not natural that our prominent artists would accept Snoop because at the time they think he could bring more exposure to reggae music.
Right. That come back to what I say with Bunny Wailer. Say, you see me, when them see Snoop forward, them accept him.
Then give him a chance.
Yeah. But you see when a man like Bunny Wailer went no and went true to the culture and thing, and him see probably when them understand him and say, yo, but Snoop have that type of influence. Snoop should have push more. Push this Rastafarianism thing more. And thing, you see me? But again, Snoop was doing it for himself.
So
I
so
guess Snoop
even
was
even so I guess even though Snoop had a falling out with, I get some feedback.
Oh, yeah, I get feedback.
Yeah, hello. Now we're good now.
Yeah.
So even though
Yeah.
Snoop had a falling out with, the major guy one of the major guys in the Rasta community, which is Bunny Wailer, if in the true to Rasta in him heart, even though him leave Bubba Hill and him would have promote Rastafarianism same way right through, even from California or wherever he's at right now.
There you go.
So that
There
for
you
sure
go.
say him did go through a phase, and it wasn't like say him true to Rasta up to this day. It was just a go through a phase.
Him just that got you in face. And I think that Bunny Wailer say. Cause I don't like Bunny Wailer, I don't like when Snoop did just forward and Bunny Wailer say, yo, no, we don't want him in there and think. After everything started and him start say, you see me the movements how Snoop and move and so. Him probably look and say, say that brother here probably, is a culture vulture, And the thing is, how him get them other Rasta man upon him side, Snoop, is because again the clout that Snoop bring and the money, the financial gain where them can gain and fight as well. Cause at the end of the day, everybody look on them pocket too, You see me I say? So enough of them Rasta here, them did want their own Snoop and Snoop are doing interview or whatever, them did want their own him as well. Them did want to know say, yo, me and that Snoop Dogg, Get a little clout, get money and them things. So this is my 2 cents on this, is that I believe that, what happened with Snoop and this Rastafarianism thing is that Snoop Dogg don't feel him soul searching, and the Rasta, a lot of the Rasta fraternity, they are look on the monetary gain that them can gain our fight as well.
CJ,
look on Snoop right now. Snoop Dogg, give me him now again.
Yeah, CJ Faces say, remember that not everyone has locks, is Rasta. It's because of the pressure that Snoop came under why he's no longer Snoop Lion now.
Brother, let me ask you something. You're your own entity, right? You're your own entity. And if you are a soul search and you find a religion where you say, me really accept this religion and me really accept what them are promote and all of them stuff there, wouldn't you not continue to be a part of it regardless of what them want to say? Because again, you're going to base off of your faith, off of what you believe. But as I said earlier, Snoop Dogg, him go through him little face, and him go through him little face and see him little pressure. Any religion him going on, he might get that same pressure, because him famous for one, so everybody are gonna give him that level of pressure and thing. But my thing is, once you come in a religion and you agree and accept it, and you say, okay, you accept the teaching and you follow the teaching, I would assume that you would continue, you see me, with that teaching, you would continue show the difference what it do to you, make everybody, you're gonna be the beacon to the world because you already have that, cloud and everything behind you. So you'd be the beacon to the world for sure, say, a reggae me promote and a reggae my thing they are Rasta religion me a follow.
Question.
That's my thing there.
Question. Do you think that if the Snoop Lion album was as successful or half as successful as Doggy Style, do you think that we would still have Snoop Dogg to this day, or do you think that we would have Snoop Lion?
Brother, to be honest with you, I think you'd still have Snoop Dogg. We'd have Snoop Dogg still.
Even with all the success from that album?
Because as I say, this show me say Snoop forward in a reggae or in the Rasta religion because of again him love smoke weed. You see me? And that give him the freedom to smoke weed and all of that, But when you come on to the financial or the album side, that not stop it. Because I go back to him always. Him show it. The man show it. Even you gotta tell me, because him album never successful, that's why I'm go back to Snoop Dogg. Come on. You see me? Come on.
So you think it's not even about the money or the success of the album, it's just them say you can't teach a old dog new tricks.
There you go. So the man did always in a theme ways, but him that try something, you know. It's almost like this. Everybody knows Snoop Dogg to be a hip hop artist and you know a rap artist or whatever the case is. No, the man try do a little soul searching and find a religion where him can say, yo, you know what? I really accept this now. I feel comfortable with this religion and you know, I really I gonna follow them words and so. You would assume say yo him that continue that to the day. Cause the man go as far and change his name and say him now no Snoop Dogg again. And the way the man, yo, tell you how this thing funny. The way the man take off a fool, the man say, you know what? Listen, I not call myself Snoop Dogg, I call myself Snoop Lion. Why you choose Lion? Oh yeah, Lion a part of the Rasta religion. So everybody look and say, yo, Bombat, Snoop Lion, him name now, you know, yeah man, I chew you this now also. What him do to it? Him go drop a one album, the album never that successful, I would assume. You see me? The man to change back and gone to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
so you know.
Wow. You know, I tell you what, Ali, boy, I love when you're calling her because you give some really, really, really good opinion on some stuff. You know what I mean? And very tight level, if that's a word, opinions. Yeah. You know what I mean? Trust me. It's like me get all another topic out of this. Trust me.
Yeah, man, I say you go, man.
Yeah,
man.
I say you go, because normally we'd have them conversation around a domino table. You know what I mean? Naturally.
Man. It's good when we can bring our own opinion, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we can look on things from different sides, you know.
No, facts.
So, yeah, man,
facts,
for real, man.
Facts. But yo, give thanks to Colleen. You know what I mean?
Yes, man.
You know what I mean? Blessings and protection for throughout the rest of the evening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And much love. You know what I mean? Big up the family. Same way. Say hi to everybody. You know what I mean? And
yeah, man.
You know what I mean? On to the next live. We'll have a next topic. You know. I think I have another topic for the next live already. You know what I mean? So I just have to do some research like I did with this one and flesh it out. And then, you know, I'll give you guys a heads up and you know, we'll do it again, you know, when we have time, you know.
Time, yeah. I know them way them man and yo, man, as I respect to your audience too, you know. You see me? I don't bash nobody, I just start using no opinion when I say still. You see me?
Straight.
Yeah, if I bring cross a pint to me, didn't want to bring cross, so you see me, I say.
Alright, let's say a word then, bro.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Man.
We're gonna end the live with some music. So if you want to hang on, it's up to you. But you know what I mean?
Take it in still.
We're gonna end the live with this theme music towards the topic. Alright,
man, I was on respect, man.
Boy,
every time.
to the amount of fire we are burning, stand build up all nice sea. You know, see what I want to be a rain, you wash out. What a good thing, God bless, you know. Because here you go now, you see the fire burn. A word without words. Fire burn up the wood, your man shirt. Fire burn, and you better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Fire burn, a word without words. Fire burn up the wood, your man shirt. Fire burn, and you better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Imagine you're just up in your latest wear. Put on your Versace cause a type and stay weird. You come out to hear a Rasta man say, you feel like you want to disappear. Imagine big dancer keep down in the scare. Woman in a mosquito and the tallest ear. She come out to hear a Rasta man say, she asked herself if she are there. Imagine you walk come from.
Alright, peeps. Bless up everybody upon the live. Anywhere, anytime now, you know what I mean? Thanks to everybody who come in and join the live. Thanks to everybody who come in and comment. Thanks to everybody who call in and give them opinion. We'll definitely have some really good clips to chop up and send over Instagram and possibly over YouTube. I think I'm gonna do it over YouTube as well to see if we can get some clicks, get some views, because we have a lot of clips. It was a lot said. Big up everybody who joined the live. You know what I mean? Bless up. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope you guys have a good week. Blessings.
See ya daddy a rasta crash up on a hini. Go to hospital and doctor work on him. Then give him a prescription and them send him to go fill. The pharmacist said, well, Just the other day, I in a Pablo's me walk. The rest of them buy down to curtain clock. Them come out some little youth, now take a part. Say, one of the tired and no lie. Fast, see the fire burn. A word without words. Fire burn up the whole of your mansion. Fire burn, and better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Fire burn, a word without words. Fire burn up the whole of your mansion. Fire burn, and better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Enough of them a burn up, but them soon catch a fire. Enough of bun foreign, them a frequent flyer. Enough of them a fight and a die for your dollar. Enough of them a burn race fire. From your bun the dragon, well, you must go Japan. And if you bun the eagle, well, you go Uncle Sam. Where you a do the queen money in your hand. Try to go that Rasta man. I'll me sing fire burn. A word without words. Fire burn up the whole of your mansion. Fire burn, and a better land. And everything